All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can you turn off that light right there?
Which light right where?
This one right here. All right, guys. Hello. Let's get situated
Is that
here.
better?
Yeah. Turn off that one and see what it does. That might be too dark. I don't know. We'll see.
It's probably going to be too dark.
Well, let's find out. No, it's all right. I think it's okay. I think we have enough lights from around here. Hello, guys. We are live. I don't know. I guess we'll wait until people are tuned in and we'll see if you can hear us. We're going to find out here. I don't want to block Randy's face with the mic.
And my butt's going to be hurting sitting on the stool, people. Just giving you a notice.
All right. Well, say something, say hi or whatever. Put a comment in the chat down below so we know who's here.
Sorry.
We're going to log in here. It takes us a little bit to get used to this,
Yeah. And yeah. Okay. Let's see if I got this.
We're opening up Randy's chat window so she can see who's commenting and where's the
chat feed.
All right. Okay. So if you're here on the stream, go ahead and say hi so we know who's here. We wanted to do a couple things tonight. We wanted to come to you live and give you an update. Can you guys hear us okay? We're trying we're actually connected to our condenser mic tonight to see if we get better audio quality.
Okay. Can we turn this just a little bit so I can see?
Yeah, rotate it.
Okay, and then where am I going to see?
You'll see comments come through here.
Okay.
All right. So again, this live stream stuff is kind of new to us, but if you are here, we see there's a couple people here. Go ahead and chime in and say hello so we know you're here. And then let us know how the audio is. Last time we had a buzzing in the audio, so we've switched over to our condenser mic tonight. And hopefully, because we're using that, there should not be any buzzing issues going on. And we have a couple topics we're going to talk about tonight. So kind of again, because it's kind of a new thing for us, but we wanted to touch on some stuff since we haven't been posting new videos because we're editing some, and we've got some cool stuff that we've been working on. So let's see here. We're just going to give it a few minutes for people to chime in and see what's going on. If you are tuned in, go ahead and say hello in the chat box so we know who's here. And let us know, is the lighting okay? Can you see us all right? I mean, we're watching on another monitor and it looks okay, but give us your opinion. Also, let us know how the audio is. Again, we're doing something a little different. Instead of running with our wired marks, we are doing this condenser mic. Hello, Eclipse Gaming. How are you guys doing? We haven't seen you since Texas.
Is that better?
Is that better there, Eclipse?
Let me know how that is.
Yeah, that should shed some more light on us. Awesome. Audio's good. Awesome. Yeah, last time we had a pretty strong buzzing in the audio. So I was hoping that switching over to our newer condenser and that would be better. Hello, Nicholas. We were hoping that would be better. We're running on our condenser mic with a power unit. So very cool. So here's what we're doing tonight. We're gonna talk about what's been going on, where we're at, and our plans for the next couple of weeks. And along with that, we're also going to then get into a little bit talking about the upcoming podcast. So I guess, we'll go ahead and get started here. We are still up in Virginia right now, still same place we've been. We did decide to stay a little bit longer. There's a concert coming into town here. Disciple and 7 Day Slumber are coming to play a concert here in town, and our daughter really wants to go to it. So we decided we would go ahead and make that happen. And So we're going to stay, I think, through May 6th.
I think it's the 6th because.
Well, we're staying till the 6th.
Yeah, we're staying till the 6th.
Okay, so we're staying till the 6th. And then we're still planning on heading. We're still planning on heading up north. And our normal plans, we're going to be in Northern Virginia, Pennsylvania, all the way up. Our plan is the coast of Maine for 4th of July. And then we've got a whitewater rafting trip that we're working on in West Virginia down the New River. So that's coming up. And then what else are we doing?
We're going
Ohio.
And then we're going to be going to, but we need to go to New Jersey too. There's a couple other places that we're
got
going to be on the East Coast for a little while.
Yeah. And then after the middle or end of July, we'll be heading inland to Chicago and Illinois to visit some friends over there before eventually heading back south for the winter again. Eclipse, so far we, after crossing through Texas, we went all the way across to Florida. So Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, from Florida, we headed north through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and now we're in Virginia. So, and we didn't spend a whole lot of time in South Carolina. We really just hit the coast for about 3 days, and then we were up to North Carolina. We weren't able to book the campground we wanted to for much longer than that. So our plan is to I think we're going to wind up looping back through the South, and we're going to have to spend more time down here. There's a lot we really felt like we wanted to see that we've just missed out on, and that was kind of a bummer. I think we realized there was a lot we wanted to see.
There was, yeah. And the thing that I do is when I'm planning out where we're going to go, I use an app. And then while we're in that state, I just mark the places that we've been that we really liked, or places that we hear about that people have said, hey, you really got to go there. So that way, if we come back, like we're going to be coming back up this way again, or around wherever, then we can we know which places that we've missed that we really wanted to see that we wish we would have been to as well. So
yeah, Kendra, we're going to be in West Virginia after July 4th. We're going to head across I think we're heading to Ohio and then down to West Virginia, or down to West Virginia and then back up into Ohio. So it'll be sometime in mid to late July.
We would love to camp with you guys again. I'm glad that you guys had a good time in Florida. And you guys are heading out to.
We'll see you guys on Monday.
Yeah, we're excited.
So that's kind of what we've been doing and where we're going. There is some new stuff. We're actually going back to North Carolina just on a day trip, probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah. We need to go back down to the old Nick Williams farm and distillery, and we're going to take some pictures down there with them. We spent a couple days filming there, which is one of the videos we're editing now, and we'll be getting that up soon, hopefully. But that'll be coming up. We'll be doing that on Tuesday or Wednesday before we come back here. And then, like I said, May 6th, we head out of here. We ran into a really nice family, a couple kids this evening while Randy and I were out on a date night. And they told us about some really cool things to see up here in Virginia that we didn't realize we were close to.
So now we've got a whole nother long list to go through. But it's cool because when you stop and you talk to the locals, I think that's really the key. If you want to find great things to do, stop and talk to the locals, and they will tell you everything that you might not see. Because I've been on, I can't remember what app that I use, but I've been on Google Maps. I've been on a lot of different apps trying to find places to do and things to see. And I would have missed all of this stuff that they were talking about. I mean, they were talking to us about stuff that I think is going to give us a whole week of really awesome, cool things to do. So talk to the locals, because that is where you're going to find those little hidden treasures and gems of things to do and places to see that you normally won't get to.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was super cool.
One of my bucket list items is to drive a road called the Tail of the Dragon in North Carolina. And It was funny. We were in North Carolina for almost 3 weeks, and there was just so much going on and so many other things that caught our attention that we completely forgot to go. Um, so there's just that stuff that you kind of do, and then you just forget what's there because you talk to so many people about other options. We did find out that the back of the Dragon is here in Virginia, and it's not that far away, and it's a great vista point.
Yeah.
To see the Appalachian Mountains and the view from them. So that's definitely on our to-do list while we're here in Virginia. If we can get it done, we will. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. There's like, I didn't realize Virginia had so many small towns. I mean, every place has small towns, but I didn't realize that Virginia had a lot of small towns. They have big towns and big cities too, but we're finding that we just really, really love small town. We really, really are enjoying visiting with the locals, finding out where the locals like to hang out, where they like to eat, where they shop, all that kind of stuff, and just living like a local. And I think it's just, for me, it's been super fun. I really, really am enjoying it. So yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, definitely having a good time. So, what else? Couple of repairs we're doing to the RV this week. We discovered a water leak underneath our bathroom sink. That's no fun. Luckily, it's on the drain side, not on the water flow side. So it's not a pressurized leak that's constantly running. But we do have to repair that. The other, we wound up doing some window patch work. The seams around the windows have a like a sticky rubber seal that goes in them, and some of them have just dried out. This was an Arizona RV, and as we've gotten out here into the moisture, we're starting to realize that. So we've been taking as much time as we can to clear them out and reseal them. And we got the ones that were problems done, but I want to do some preventative and get the other things done. Get the other ones done.
Hey, Nicholas, were you on the last live that we did? Because I
don't think so.
I meant to, if you were.
Well, maybe I don't know.
Because I meant there was somebody on with the initials NP, I think, last time, and I meant to get with them and give them some information. No, it wasn't you. Okay, never mind then.
So, so
my train of thought just goes, woo, squirrel. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
So, what else have we? There was one other leak we found on a drain side, which is underneath our kitchen sink. Luckily, that we had a big mixing bowl that we don't use. That was on the that was underneath where the leak was. So that bowl caught all the water that was running out. So that was good. So now we've been able to fix that. Yes, Kendra, I will definitely do a video on how we seal those windows up. It's probably not the most thorough way where you're supposed to pull the window out, redo it all, but it definitely is I think it works fine. For a 15, 16-year-old RV or more, I think it's more than substantial for closing it up.
Thankfully, we haven't had like any significant leaks
on
the windows, because that really freaks me out. That makes me like, oh crap, we're going to have a flood all down the wall, and then it's going to create more problems. So thankfully, we don't have that. We don't have to worry about all that crap. So
yeah, no, and that's been good. We did, if you saw our video back in Florida, there was a video we did in Florida where the roof was leaking. It was our very first time in rain since we had bought the travel trailer, and that very first rain was a good one, and we had water just pouring in our vents in the roof. And so in the middle of the night, we realized they were leaking. We had to find a ladder. There happened to be a guy outside in the laundry room doing his laundry, and he had a work truck with him with a ladder on it. And so we were able to borrow his ladder, and I got up on the roof with trash bags and logs of wood and covered.
That was now looking back on it, it was really a hilarious thing that happened. It was very comical. But then being through it, not fun. It wasn't not good times. It was kind of scary.
It wasn't that comical to me because I was on the roof.
Well, but I just thought it was funny because I could, imagine other people watching us and seeing me handing up logs of wood to Hal off of this ladder, and he's like trying to put him down on the trash bags to seal the roof, and it was crazy.
Well, and we have one of those. We don't have a walkable roof, And so you have to be really careful about where you place your knees as you're crawling
Yeah.
across it. So I'm up in there in the rain, it's pouring down. I've got trash bags I'm trying to cover the vents with, and then putting logs on them, and trying to make sure I don't fall through the roof or punch a hole in it. So it was pretty comical. The next day though, I did get up there and uncover everything, dry it all out, and then recaulk all the roof vents, and that was no fun either. So it is what it is. But so, anyways, let's talk about what's coming up. As far as 18 Summers in general goes, we've been in talks with a couple of people to get some stuff done. One of the biggest projects that I have coming up that I'm really, really excited to say is that we have been recording the 18 Summers Live Your Passion podcast. We've done a series of great interviews, and I'm so looking forward to that. We've been editing audio all week. We had 7 interviews last week. We've got more coming up next week. We're launching in May. The channel artwork is done. We've got the account set up with Libsyn, and we'll be submitting to iTunes and to Stitcher for our podcast. We're really looking forward to it. And if you know anyone who is living their passion, somebody that has just stepped out, left convention and gone, you know what, this is really what I really love to do, and has tackled it and started chasing it, send me a message. Go to our website and click through a contact form and send us a message. Get them to go there. We'd love to interview people who are doing just that. The idea is to share with other people this drive to chase your passion, to live your passion. I think you don't have to be wealthy to do it. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to have the best equipment. It's just a matter of, if you really love something and you want to go after it, then just do it. Go after it. And that's what we're trying to encourage people to do. We have some more great interviews coming up with some phenomenal people in business and industry, the private sector, in nonprofits. So the podcast, we are so looking forward to sharing that with everyone, because it really is. It's people from every industry. I mean, I'm talking photographers, entrepreneurs.
The other thing, I want to interrupt for 1 second. The other thing too is if you guys have or know of any topics that we should probably, not topics, but like
no topics.
Yeah, subjects that we should hit on the podcast, or to give us a lead on where we should be looking at for people to come in and do an interview on the podcast, please let us know, because we want to make sure that we have a very well-rounded people to interview. We want to make sure that we're not just focusing on this tiny little bit of people. We want to make sure that we're making our scope nice and wide.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
the idea is that everybody's got a different passion. So if we don't want to just stick to like 1 or 2 types of industry, but we really want to get to giving people an idea in any industry what they could be doing. It's really
that's much better.
Is that better, Mark? Mark just sent me a message and I was very dark. Well, that might be too bright. Let's see.
Is that our friend Mark and Jaylon?
Yeah, but they're not. He sent me a text.
Oh, hi, Mark.
So, but it's one of those things where we want to broaden it, because we want people to realize that it's not just one industry. Like, it's not just going RVing. It's not just starting a nonprofit. It's really about anything you have a passion for that you might enjoy, that you might want to do. We want to be an encouragement to you to go do that, to chase that passion. So that's more of where we would go with that. What's that?
Mark, I love you.
That's right.
I really love you.
I pay attention, Mark. So, but it really is. It's about stepping out and doing what you love. There's no point in staying somewhere and being miserable. If you're not happy with what you're doing, then look to change that. You only have one life to live. It is here and then it's gone, and it doesn't always last that long. You don't know what tomorrow brings. So why not enjoy it while you're here? For us, it was really about, we loved where we were, but we really wanted more time with our kids, and we really wanted to explore with them and give them something different. And so it became a change for us. Making a change was the right thing to do. And I think we're absolutely loving it. Our kids love it. Everybody's got their day where they kind of go, oh, is this really the right thing for us?
Yeah.
You get a little homesick. You want to see your friends, but ultimately, I think we're really enjoying everything.
I want to just say one more thing. If there is somewhere there that you guys really love and would love for us to see and possibly videotape and document our adventures there, please let us know, because that helps us out to project where we're going to be going. But we want to see everything. We want to see all kinds of different stuff. Mark, we are already going to go to New Jersey. But just if there's somewhere that you guys really love that you think that we should go tour around and play at, please let us know, because that will help us out, and we want to see those kinds of things. So yeah,
we do. We want to go out and venture to those places. So, and we've met a lot of good people on the road too. Kendra, Eclipse Gaming, Nicholas. It's been so neat as we've RV'd, just seeing this RV community and how much how well it takes you in. The RVing community is a very friendly community, and it's been great. It's been very friendly. Really, the whole South we haven't run into a single person in the South that's been rude.
So this is one cool thing, because I was explaining it to a couple that we met tonight. You hit those pockets of people where they're sometimes friendly, they're not sometimes friendly. We have met every single person here has been really friendly. So when you hear about Southern Charm and you hear about how
Southern hospitality,
the hospitality that they have here in the South, it is so true. And I really absolutely love it. Like I was saying before, I think I'm falling more and more in love with small town, because it's just a whole different community. We've lived in big city before, but I've lived mostly in small town. I love the community. I love that people want to come together. It's why I love the RV community. People come together. You see a need, you help your neighbor. You don't just ignore your neighbor. Your neighbor may not even have to ask for help, and you see a need and you go help your neighbor. I love that about small town. And that's why I think I really am drawn to the RV community too, is because they are just like that. And they're so free with help. And you don't meet that you don't get that everywhere. You get sometimes jerks in every little place that you go, but the South, we've really met a lot of people who are so sweet. So yeah.
All right, Nicholas, I want to ask, what is Carlos Baker?
Okay, yeah.
So you need to comment and tell us, what is Carlos Baker? So let's see what else is. So we've got the podcast coming, and then we've talked a little bit about kind of what's coming next. And one of the other things we're doing is we've changed the format. I think we're going to wind up doing a lot more of these live videos. The next one is going to be cool because even though she doesn't know it yet, Alima is going to be in the next live because she is preparing for something, and this is something that I think any of the teenagers that are traveling with their parents full time right now, it may be handy, is she's actually getting ready to take the test to get her driver's permit. In Arizona, you can do the test for your driver's permit online. So she's getting ready to take her driver's permit test. So when we're back in Arizona in November, because she has to have 6 months of her permit before she can get her license. So in order to pick up her license when we're back in November, she needs to take her test in like the next 10 days and get her permit. So that's what the plan is. So the next live we do, Alima will be on it, and we'll be talking and answering questions. So make sure that if you know any full-timers that have kids or teenagers who are traveling, have them tune into the next one, because it may be helpful to them, especially if their state offers something very similar. I know Arizona is really open on a lot of things. They do a lot of things that are more open and more available to people than a lot of states. They have a lot less regulations on stuff, and that makes it really, really handy. So I know with this driver's license thing, I had no clue you could do the permit online, and being able to do that permit online. I'm going to back my trip. I don't want to run you over.
Okay, y'all, I'm sitting on a stool, and it's kind of like not fun. But I love my husband, so yeah, I'm gonna suck it up and take one for the team.
So, but it will be, it'll be cool to have her on and talking about that. And then the following one, we're gonna
Bye, Nicholas. We'll see you later.
Thanks for tuning in. The following show, the live after that, I'm gonna try and get Halim on there, and we're gonna just address what it's like to be 10 and traveling, and how to make friends and be able to say goodbye when it's time to move on to the next spot, and what that's like. He's had a bit of a week where he's kind of missing his friends and stuff, so I figured it would be a good one. And again, it's one of those things where a lot of people don't realize what it's like to travel with kids, and I think it's really neat when they get to experience meeting new people. But it is difficult when we leave a place and they have to say goodbye. So we're going to address some of that in the next couple of lives, but we'll be doing more of these lives, and we're going to reserve our video editing time for stories. Filming at the distillery that we filmed at for 2 days and putting together that really cool story, is one of our goals. Like I want to do more of that. I'm trying to make sure that Randy's not blocked by this microphone. I don't want to be like, hey, you can't see her.
It's all about hell.
So anyways,
Kendra, you know what? And I think it's just like what I just typed. That's the bittersweet part of what we do. When we find people that we love and that community that we really, really click with, that's the bittersweet part about it, is at some point we do have to say goodbye. But the cool thing is, and this is what I remind the kids, is that at some point, because of what we do, we can come back to them and we can get with them again at another time. And it's not forever. It's going to be.
She's got to turn off the heater, otherwise that fan's going to be loud.
There will be a time of reconnecting with the people that we care about and the people that we have bonded with. So yeah, I'm so excited to get to see you guys again too. I'm excited to hear about your adventures in Florida and where we left off. I think it's going to be cool. So yep. Give them hugs. I miss my little kiddos. Give them hugs.
All right. So let's talk about the next piece of this, which is just also doing Q&As. As we build our YouTube channel, we're excited to answer questions and talk with people. And so if you're on here and you're wondering about what it's like, if you're not an RVer and you want to know what it's like, feel free to ask those questions. We're here to answer those. But this is the part where I'm gonna take over the conversation here, and I want to talk about this podcast. What's so funny? This is what I have to deal with.
Because there's a delay from your screen to my screen.
It's because I'm live.
I know I'm randomly making faces, but not randomly. I'm reacting to what you're saying. And so I see it over there. And then like a second later, I see it over here. And it's really funny. I'm sorry. There was a squirrel. I'm sorry.
This is what I deal with on a constant basis.
I'll try to act right. I'm sorry.
All right. So
sorry. Okay.
All right. So I want to talk about the podcast, because one of the interesting things has been recording this podcast. It takes quiet, and I don't get a lot of quiet in this house. Not with you saw, if you were on our YouTube live last time, you saw Stephen and Calvin, and that's them on a regular basis. Like, they are just high energy boys. And so it's a little difficult to get quiet time to be able to record those podcasts. And I do it here at this desk. This is the podcasting mic here. This is the setup for that. Over here is the other computer right here that I use to record the audio and stuff. And thanks, Jason. Leave us in the background laughing too.
No, it's I'm sorry, not sorry.
Right, yeah, sorry, not sorry. So we have the other computer where we do our audio recording, and the hard thing has been is that we've had some mistakes since we started traveling, one of them was not securing our iMac properly. We have a 27-inch iMac, and I need to replace the hard drive on it. And I may have talked about this last time. I really don't remember, but I need to replace the hard drive on it because it's not a solid state drive. And I think the RV driving shook the hard drive to the point where it just decided it didn't want to work anymore. So where I would normally edit on that one, I'm now using this other one, this other computer, which I'm glad that we have, and I'm very grateful for it. But it's this weird shuffle we play, and it's just these things you learn about. But anyways, so I edit, excuse me, I record the audio using this mic here, but I can't always record in the RV. There have been some days here in Virginia where it's been cold, it's snowy, or it's raining, and Randy and the kids can't go out exploring. And so I've had to do other things. We have been really blessed that our friend here has let us use one of the spare offices and their admin building to work from. So I've been working from there, and we've used our VTIN headset, which has a little boom mic on it here to do the podcast recording, which is done phenomenally well too. As I've been reviewing the audio, I've been really excited about how clean it's been and how good it's been. So hopefully the audio on this video is really good because we are using this mic. And then because we've been able to use that office, I've actually been able to get more done because I've been able to not worry about taking a short section of time to record and then move on to the next one. I was able to do 3 interviews one day, and one of them lasted almost 2 hours. And I'll have to edit that one down for the podcast, but it was a really good conversation on the topic of living your passion. And I almost feel like it might be 2 episodes. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see what that turns out to be, but I've been able to take more time.
Yeah.
And really give it the attention, which would be weird.
The other thing too is he's not distracted by my squirrels or the kids.
Right. I cannot tell you how many times somebody come up to me with an iPhone and go, "Did you see this video on Facebook? Did you see this cat?" It's so like, no, it's not funny.
Excuse me, I'm working here.
I'm trying to get things done. So it gets kind of interesting. What'll be really interesting is continuing to record the podcast when we leave here and I don't have a spare office to work from, and I have to put up with all the crazy that happens here.
You know, we should try to just make more outside. Just do more outside video recording, because all of this back here is real life, but it's crazy.
What are you?
You got the pots and the pans over
Mark,
here.
we're in it's a kitchen.
Yeah.
Mark, we're in Virginia right now. We are in Southwest Virginia. We're like 30 minutes from Mount Airy or Mayberry, North Carolina. And only an hour and a half from that great whiskey distillery that we'll be visiting on Tuesday.
Yeah, okay. So, people, I usually don't drink alcohol at all, but this whiskey would make me an alcoholic if I was over here close enough. Like, for real, it was so good.
They're pretty good. I don't want to advertise anybody's alcohol, but Old Nick whiskey is pretty good. So yeah, just saying, right now, I don't know. It's supposed to be available outside of North Carolina soon, but it's good. And they have a great history. Their company, their distillery, their family distillery started 250 years ago in 1768. So we'll be talking about that when we do the video. You'll see some great information on that. But all right, so let's get back to the podcast. So we'll be now what?
Yeah, Mark, maybe a big 8 foot.
That's Jason.
I'm sorry, Jason. Maybe a big, huge 8-foot banner. Yeah, that would be great. We should find somebody who does that. Oh, wait, I think we do.
We actually have a couple of things coming to us in the next couple of weeks. I ordered a backdrop, which will be fun to put up, but also a couple of flags to put outside the RV. So we have some stuff coming that will help to kind of give us an area to work from, because I can drape them around the office, the backside of my office here, and do that. So, but yeah, it's still, I mean, it's like I said, it's a balance. So when we get on the road, it'll be interesting to see how we record the podcast from the road and still balance everything. You know, we're kind of spoiling ourselves here by being here for a month, because as we move along, we're scheduled most places 7 to 12 days. So while that's still a lot of time, it's not as much time. So you want to get out and explore places where we can kind of do that slowly here. We'll have less time to explore where we go. So we'll kind of balance that out or whatever. But yeah, so listen, if you guys have any questions, now is a good time to chime in with those questions. Also share this video. If you're on Facebook, go onto your Facebook and share the post that we put up with the link on it so more people join this video. The more we grow this channel, the more we can do with it. And we really rely on obviously we have our, we have exposure on our truck with our graphics and stuff, but we also rely on people sharing our videos and liking them and subscribing to our channel. So please be doing that too as you go along. Let's see what else.
I don't know about you guys, but I think this is really fun. It's a great way for us to get to communicate with you guys, you to communicate with us, but it's more of a, I don't know, I just think it's more fun. I like it. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, just let us know. And if you haven't been watching from the beginning, just let us know who you are so we know that you're there and we can talk to you too. Okay.
That's what I thought. I have my friends asking.
What friends do you have asking, Mark?
Oh, somebody was asking you where we are. Okay.
Okay.
Tell them to stop being nosy. Just kidding.
Not like we made this
Just
public.
kidding. I will say I do want to add this about Virginia, and this is something that because every time we go somewhere, Randy goes, "Oh, I really love this place.
Ugh.
We should look at moving here." And I keep saying we're not moving anywhere until we're done exploring all 48 of the contiguous states. I like saying contiguous because it sounds like a big word and it confuses some people. But we're not moving anywhere until we've seen them all. But I will say Virginia has been one of those states where Randy has said, "Oh, we should move here. I really like this." And we probably will because it's not that we probably will move here, but we probably will look at it more closely as we get to that point, just because it is really beautiful. It is a little more rural. It's more rural like we're looking for. And eventually we'd like to settle down on some land and homestead. So
yeah.
It's picture day at the studio. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, our friend Mark his wife is an amazing dance instructor. So that's what the studio they're talking about there.
I have learned, though, I think I'm trying to learn not to say that I love everywhere, because I say it almost everywhere. I've told how before I grew up in Arizona. I grew up in the desert. I know what the desert looks like. I hate the desert. But to see green rolling hills, to see the trees and the woods and the streams and the rivers and the lakes and all of that, we have that in Arizona, but it's all up north. And I didn't grow up up north. I grew up down in the valley where it's just a boiling hot desert. And that's no fun. So
I like to think of it as the gates to hell.
Yeah, especially in the summer. We tell people this, we have 3 seasons. We have hot, hotter, and hot and wet.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get.
Or cold.
There's no cold.
There's no cold. You're smoking crack. No, there's no cold. No cold. She's lying. But anyway, so to see the green hills, to see the pastures, to see the woods and the rivers and the stuff like that, that really pulls my heart. That really just grabs me because I'm not used to seeing that. But there's something just so.
I thought with what you said with the woods and the rivers, I thought you were going to bust out into like "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls."
Oh my gosh!
That just came to my mind.
No. So I really love that. Kendra, I'm really excited about West Virginia. I really am. I'm also drawn to small town. So small town to me, like I said, I grew up in big towns. I grew up in big city, but I also grew up a little bit in the small towns, and I really, really gravitate towards that so bad. So we're really excited to get going and seeing what else there is to see. Woodlawn has been great because you see the great big huge pastures with cattle in it and horses, and apparently there's an alpaca farm not far from where we're at. I had no idea. So I guess we're gonna have to make a trip to see the alpacas. I'm so excited for that. So that's where my heart is at. My heart has always been with the rolling hills and the woods and all that stuff. So Hal's like, man, whatever. He likes it, but he's like, meh.
I do like it. I mean, I like it a lot. I actually think it's very beautiful. It's just I'm being reserved because I want to see what else is out there.
Yeah.
The one thing I know is I don't like humidity. And I know being on the East Coast, no matter where you go, there's humidity. So I'm a bit more reserved on that, which is why we want to pass through a lot of these states twice so we can get different seasons in.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, everybody who comes to visit, if you come to visit Arizona in December, January, February, you'd be like, wow, this is amazing. I'm moving here. And then come June, July, and August, you will kick yourself in the head every day and regret moving there.
Unless you're that person that loves to put punishment upon yourself.
Right.
Because that's the only thing that you're doing. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's what I was saying is it's one of those things where you don't want to jump into something without really experiencing both climates. One of the things I love about the Pacific Northwest is we've spent a winter up there and we've spent a summer up there. So we've gotten both of the climates. So we feel like we have a pretty good grasp on what it's like up there. And we did 4 months of the winter there and we did about 5 months of the summer there in different years. So it really felt like we got a good feel for what it was like. And that's the same thing I want to try and do as we go through these states, is really get a good feel for what it's realistically like, not just when you're here in the ideal season. So, it's I guess it's just one of those things I don't want to jump in too quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, but West Virginia is beautiful. I mean, not West Virginia. We haven't been there yet. Virginia is beautiful. And I am excited about the other places. I know. See, now that's the thing is Night Sky is that I know we've talked about this, but you're one of those people that
you're a freak and like the heat.
Right.
Don't.
No, but I think it's one of these things where if you grow up in an area like Ohio, Pennsylvania, the Northeast where it's blisteringly cold, or even the the northern states like Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, where it's blisteringly cold, and you grow up there, you come down to Arizona and the summer, that heat is relief because it's so different. And I think it's the opposite for me. I grew up and Randy grew up in that heat all the time. So to get away from it, I don't mind the snow because it's not the heat.
Yeah.
And I guess I got used to the summers for quite a while until we spent our first summer outside of Arizona. When we did that, when we spent our first summer outside of Arizona and then we came back, it was from that point on that I was miserable. And I think it was because we spent a summer where the warmest it got in Northern California was like 72 degrees. So at 72 degrees every day, or 65 to 72 degrees, it was beautiful. Then the next year we're back in Arizona and it was a summertime and we had settled into Arizona at that point. Oh man.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's 105, 110 and you go, okay, what did I get myself into? And it ruined, I think that one summer away ruined it for us because it really took you out of that being used to it, that clock, of just getting completely used to it. So I don't know. I
think for me too, the other part of that is I am, it's sometimes hard to get me outside. I really am. I think more introverted than Hal is. Hal's definitely the more outgoing one of the two of us. But once I get outside, I want to be outside and I want to stay outside. It's getting me out the door that is sometimes kind of hard. But that's why I like where you can be outside. In Arizona, you've got just a few seasons where you can actually be outside. You've only got a short window, unless you're one of those people that like the heat and you don't mind it. I personally do not like the heat. It's not a friend of mine. I'm out in the sun for 5 minutes and I look like I've been out there for 4 hours.
Well, and I think
not fun times.
I'll get a little deeper into this too. So some of you who know me personally, personally know that I don't have a thyroid anymore. 10 years ago, 11 years ago almost, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer and I had my thyroid taken out along with 8 tumors out of my neck and 17 lymph nodes and went through this whole thing. and it took quite a while to get my thyroid back under control. One of the interesting things for me is when the temperatures fluctuate so dramatically. In the wintertime, I feel great. I feel alive. I feel like I'm in my 20s. When the summertime comes and I have to adjust my medicine because it's just my body drags. I feel like I'm, 65 and, like I spent my life in a boxing ring. I feel beat up. So for me, it's also that like I just feel miserable in it. And I'm done feeling miserable. So, for us, if we're in a climate where it's cooler and colder, I actually thrive in that. I feel better physically. I feel better. I think mentally I feel better. And, I think I'm the opposite of maybe like the people that grow up in Seattle that wind up with, seasonal affective disorder, where being away from the sun and having all those gray days can cause depression. For me, the heat is very depressing because I feel worse. I don't feel like I do as well in the heat. So for me, it's just like, I don't want to deal with that. I would rather feel energized and more mobile. And I think that's been the beautiful thing is I don't think in Arizona, I could have gotten up on the roof of the RV and done all that work on the roof. It physically, I think it would have drained me. It would have beat me senseless. And so
I think for me, it was so hard to watch him in the summer. Especially this last summer, his job was very demanding. Our businesses were very demanding, and that also meant that he had to be outside. But to watch him to even try to get up every single day and get out of bed was so horrible. And then to think about he has to function all day long, and it's not like everyone else. Oh, you go get a cold cup of water, or you go inside and you stay inside, and then you're fine. That's not how it works for him. And for him to be able, or for him to not be able to find that relief from the heat, and then even all of the other symptoms and stuff that he had on top of that was so hard to watch. And so for me, when he said, when we started talking about getting on the road and doing that and going through that summer, I was like, this is really something that we've got to do. We have to find somewhere different because this is not going to work. And it breaks my heart. It really hurt to watch him every single day go through the torment that he went through for the summer.
Well, and I think I probably did too good of a job hiding a lot of it, but I'm one of those people where I'm like, oh, it is what it is. I got to deal with it.
Yeah, he's not a very touchy-feely kind of guy.
No, so it's one of those things where I just kind of go, well, it is what it is. I'm just going to move on, and I'll muscle through it. I'll muddle through it. But it is at times, kind of a pain. But man, since we've been on the road and when the winters come around and stuff, it really is a lot more relieving and that. So I don't know. It is more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Being able to do those things physically and stuff. So
the only other thing that I think we have to be careful of is we've noticed that the kids have allergies. Halim and Steven especially have big issues with allergies. So that stuff that's been shown to us as we've traveled around. So we have to be careful about, like Steven, we didn't realize was allergic to mosquito bites until he got stung in Florida. And then we're like, oh crap. But we didn't realize that he was also allergic to chlorine from pools. So there's another.
Yeah, that kid turned into like the most red-looking alligator you've ever seen.
It was the most horrific thing to see,
and
we couldn't fix it. It was
like a chemical burn.
It really was, and it was so hard to try to. Thankfully, we reached out to some people that we know that are more into natural type medicines and stuff like that, and they were able to help us get some relief for him. But had we not had that, we would have never figured out that it was the pool that was causing him problems.
Yeah.
We knew that it was we knew mosquitoes was because he got bit or he got stung, and then almost instantly it was a blister.
Yeah.
So, but those are things that you don't think about when you're staying in one area for many, many years. When you leave that area, you might have a reaction to some of the things that are around there that you've not been exposed to before. So that's stuff that we're now very careful about. We're very cautious about what happens with the kids with their allergies.
Yep. Listen, if you're just tuning in here, make sure to say hi in the comments so we know that you're here. These comments I think do disappear once the live is over, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But do say hello so we know you're here. We can see how many people are here, but we don't know
We
who
don't know
is
who
all
it is.
here. I mean, we know Kendra's here and Night Sky and maybe Mark is still here, but
No, I think
but
Mark had to go.
he might have. So, but do say hi because it would be nice to know who's here. But you're right. Randy's right. I think it's one of those things when you're stationary for so long, you don't think about all those things. And there's definitely been some stuff that's been learned, but on the all in all, it's been really good to learn these things because I think it gives us insight into what we do and don't want, going forward. And so that's a plus.
So I got a question. So Mark is telling me that the internet is cutting out and the screen keeps dying. Is that happening to everybody else too, or is it just Mark? So
Probably just Mark.
It might just be Mark, but I want to make sure.
Mark's not the most tech savvy person in the world,
Oh, he just did tell me it's not the screen.
It's what?
He said not the screen, the feed.
Oh, the feed?
Yeah.
Well, that could be us, but I don't think so. I think it would tell us. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
let us know if we're skipping, if it's cutting in and out. Let us know. Kendra says it's okay where they're at, so it must be Mark.
Okay.
It's that terrible Maricopa internet you've got over there. So.
Well, if you guys have any questions too, please feel free to ask us. We're, that's kind of what we're here for too. Is we want to get to know you guys a little bit better and answer any questions you guys might have.
Mole on hush. So what part, Kendra, where are you guys at in South Carolina? What area?
Come here, Molon.
Can you take Molon, figure out what he's doing?
Our dog's freaking out. Sorry.
He's not the most calm most of the time.
He's not the brightest bulb in the bunch.
No. But yeah, Kendra, where are you guys at in South? We were down there in South Carolina. We found a great cider shop, the South Carolina Cider Company.
Yes.
So if you're down near the edge where Charleston's at, we'll have to. Randy,
I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, if you get a chance, they have two little stores, Lexington.
Okay, so hold on.
So if you get a chance to look for the South Carolina Cider Company, they have two stores down towards Charleston. So I don't know where Lexington is compared to Charleston, but they do have two stores, and they had some really good. They had muscadine cider.
The place was the people there. It was a small shop.
Kendra, I would be like, oh yeah, I have no clue where Columbia is. I don't know. I'm so lost when it comes to the Carolinas.
So this place was like this little teeny tiny shop. Well, not teeny tiny, but it was small. It was a little small shop. They do have several around the area.
Do they?
Yeah.
They said the two.
No, they have a couple, but they're small mom and pop shops.
I'm gonna look and see where Columbia is.
But they're super cute. They have like everything. They have.
Do we have any of that blackberry butter?
That's where we got it.
Blackberry butter we got from there. It was delicious.
Here, I'll tell you.
Randy will tell you. I'm going to look up where Columbia is right now because I have no clue where Columbia, South Carolina is.
So it's blackberry butter jelly.
Oh, yeah. You're farther north already.
Let me tell you, this stuff is amazing. Look.
It was near.
This is so good.
It was near Beaufort. Sorry. Beaufort, South Carolina. I forgot there's a difference between Beaufort. Yeah, it was in Beaufort, around Beaufort.
Okay, so depending on where you're from, you're gonna say it differently.
Where you're at,
yeah. I know. Say it differently, and there's a couple of places that we ran into that are like that. And if you get it wrong, you can guarantee damn sure that they're going to tell you right. That was the squirrel. Sorry.
Let's talk about what we've learned. In South Carolina, it's Beaufort,
Alina
South Carolina.
Says hi.
In North Carolina, it's Beaufort, North Carolina. Where were we at? Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's think about this. I see. I would say Appalachian Mountains. It's Appalachian. Okay. Here where we're at, we're next to a town that is spelled Fries. Where I'm from, that's Fries.
Night Sky. This is a lesson for you. It's not just Mesa.
So where I'm from, Fries is Fries. Here it's Freeze. I don't know how they get freeze out of Fries, but it is. And it's so funny because we've learned that So Don, all right. So I'm actually gonna. I got a friend of mine that's watching this right now, Don, and he's looking for the chat box. So Don, depending on if you're on your phone or on your computer, from the YouTube live video, if you're on your phone and you look at the very bottom, there should be a little bar that says Top Chat, and you should be able to click that, and then be able to comment on the video. If you're on your computer, it should be to the right side of the video if the video is not full screen. So I hope that helps. Oh, look, Alima chimed in.
Oh, so the other thing is too is that I was called a Yankee. So,
yes, and I didn't realize people from Arizona were considered Yankees.
I didn't either, and I was like, just totally took it in stride. And I was like, oh, okay, great. That's
Hey,
awesome.
Alima, do you have
Sure.
my iPad?
Sure.
No.
But
me
it
see
was
the
quite
iPad.
it was quite funny to hear an actual person call me a Yankee.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What is your deal,
Wow,
dog?
our dog is going crazy.
He's nuts.
So yes, let's see what else here. I'm trying to. Can you deal with him, please? I need him. All right, so I'm gonna look because I'm trying to help here. If you're on an iPad, the window. I'm gonna go to our live feed on the iPad and see where the chat window is on that. Let's see, my channel. Randy, if you want to keep talking, you can.
I'm just I don't know. Yes, we are still alive.
Yes,
now we are live.
That's right. Okay, so where's the okay? So I'm looking at this on my iPad, Don. If you look at this on the iPad here, this is a weird like back and forth. But on this side right here, there's the suggested videos, and down at the bottom there's a button that says Top Chat, and if you click that, you'll see the chat window there. So hopefully that helps. You can't be. I don't know. I don't think you can be full screen.
You can, but
you could be full screen and see the chat, but I don't think you could be full screen and chat. So I think you have to get out of the full screen and go into where it's windowed like this. Let's see if I can do this without the glare. Yeah, if you go into it with windowed like this, and then it'll be on this bottom edge here.
It's like
I know it's in an image and an image.
It's just like a weird
all right.
thing.
So, anyways,
okay.
But yeah, so it's really weird when you're in different places the way that they say the different names of towns, but they're spelt exactly the same.
Yeah, and that's yeah. So the other thing too is if you guys want to know other places that we are planning going or where we have been, just let me know. You guys can catch me on Facebook, and you can also catch me on I'm on Instagram, but I'm going to tell you now, I'm trying to move my Instagram over to the 18 Summers, so my feed will be a lot less. And I did put that up on my Instagram what is it, description. So just you're gonna have to catch me over at 18 Summers.
Hey Don, good to see you. Well, I don't see you, but it's good for you to see me. Whatever, either way,
Hi.
It's nice that you're here. So here's the thing about Instagram. So Randy, my poor wife, has been so patient. Every time we've gotten a new phone, she always kind of gets the lesser of them. But she has had this iPhone 6 Plus for a while now that was only a 16 gig phone. I have a 128 gig on mine. She only had 16, and so she was constantly running out of room, which made it difficult for her to keep taking pictures, especially for Instagram. So tonight, part of our date night is we went and upgraded her phone. She now is the proud owner of an iPhone 8 Plus, and it's a 256 gig storage on it. So she'll be able to do a lot more Instagram photos. So do check out the Instagram. It's 18_Summers on Instagram. So do check that out. It is very, very, very worth doing because there's some great pictures that get up on there. And then the other thing is you can go to our website. Like, I don't know if you've been to our website, but gonein18.com, GONEIN18.com is our website. Our Instagram feed is live there. Our YouTube videos are automatically updated there. Our Facebook feed for 18 Summers is updated automatically there. There's a lot of information there. Along with that, you can see where we've been. There's a map of all the stops, all the cities we've been to or stayed overnight in
Mhm.
on that map. And we constantly update that after we leave the area. Obviously, we don't need stalkers.
Yeah. There's also that's where I'm going to be telling a little bit more, giving a little bit of an in-depth review about the places that we've been. I'm going to be talking about where we've stayed, what we've done, and that way you can also have a better link of the stuff that we've done and we've seen that you might want to visit and go check out too. We made a couple of big mistakes this week, but it's been fun. We learned a lot. Oh yeah, going up to that fish management place.
They went out without me and decided to go drive on a dirt road that was meant for ATVs.
Yeah, thanks, Alima.
And almost got my truck stuck.
It wasn't actually Alima's fault. We were following Siri and Alima was doing what she was supposed to, but the road we didn't realize was an equestrian trail and meant for ATVs. So it was quite scary and steep. Thankfully, we were able to turn around. Yeah, you're welcome, Alima. We were able to turn around and we were able to get out. But that was a lesson learned. And lesson learned too with that there was no place to hike and there was nothing to do. So, you live and you learn. We all survived. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt. We did have fun. So I'll be putting stuff like that up on the blog. I haven't done it yet just because I'm waiting for a few more things. And I want to get...
I don't know why she's waiting for a few more things. She's not waiting for anything. She's waiting to do it is what she's waiting for. Okay. She's waiting to stop procrastinating.
Here's my deal is I'm not a storyteller. As much as I would love to be a storyteller, I am not a storyteller.
Just do cut and dries.
I don't do cut and dry either. I need a little funny in there. Just a little.
Good luck. Good luck.
But I will be putting that all. I will. Oh my gosh! To put gas in his diesel engine. Oh, Kendra.
That's bad. You don't want to do that. Listen,
Did he see the meme about putting bleach in his gas tank too? Was he that guy?
To clean it out.
To clean it. Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Yeah, I've never done that. That's why I don't buy diesel trucks, so I don't get confused.
That's so scary. But yeah, that was our little adventure the other day. I'm not going to.
Although technically, going up a horse trail, you did have 330 of them.
I actually did pretty damn good, I think. Don't you, Alima?
This is a family channel. You can't use those kind of words.
Well,
yeah, I do.
We can bleep that out later.
Right? There's no bleep. There's no bleep.
Okay, sorry.
We're going to have to start recording a time delay.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was fun. Yeah. But I will be adding on to the blog and I will be starting to do that here shortly. And that way we can get a little bit more out there of what we've done, what we've seen. I'm also going to be putting on there the places that I wish we would have gone to. Because okay, so we were in Florida for that whole time, like what, month, 2 months?
2 months.
For 2 months. And like, there's so much to do there that we didn't even get to do half of the stuff that I realized was there. So I wish that we would have been able to do more, but it's stuff like that other people need to know about. You want to know about that when you're there, right? Yeah, 4 hours from their camper with no rental car available and about $1,000 for cleaning out the tank.
No, that's rough.
Oh, Kendra, that's bad. Oh.
All right, there is something else. We'll see. There's a delay between the iPad and computer. iPad is more live.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. That's weird. Dawn, there should be that chat window. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Listen, I do want to share something else. And Kendra, just so you know, you are the lucky winner of one of these.
We will.
But the other thing is, folks, we have these wonderful coffee mugs. See that? We have these wonderful Tal hydration coffee, like hot cold cups. It's 12 hours cold, 6 hours hot on these cups. These are phenomenal. We have one more of these to give away. We have one more set to give away that we're going to give away starting this week, but we're going to give them away come May 1st. And what we're doing is with people coming to the channel, we're trying to get more subscribers. So everybody who shares our Facebook post, we can see those shares. So when you do share that Facebook post, we're going to put you in a randomizer drawing. There's a website that allows us to randomize that. We're going to put you in a drawing. Actually, one of the other things you can do is you can go to any one of our, go to this video after we publish it, after the live is over, and like it and share it. And we're going to put you in a randomizer for a set of these. These retail for about $25 to $30 on Amazon. These are phenomenal, like hot cold cups. We have these wonderful vinyl stickers that are on them. They don't wash off,
and they won't be backwards.
Well, it's not back. Oh, it looks backwards. It does look backwards.
It does look backwards.
Why is that?
Oh, wait, but no, on the replay, it's right.
Okay, good. On my camera, we're actually backwards.
It's backwards.
So, but it has this 18 summers on it. So you can have some swag, but do share this video when it's over with and like it, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, because we will be giving away a set of these. Not necessarily in black and teal. We have I don't know. I think we have blue or pink, or I don't know. We have some other colors too. Colors. So we'll give you an option on what color you want.
Yeah.
If you win. But please do share that. And then also
those tumblers are the best. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
We put our he put ice in here one day, and it lasted all night long and through half of the next day. So a whole day and a half later, after he put ice in it, it still had ice in it.
Yeah.
These things are amazing.
These were the 1.2 liter hydration water bottles we had. And I don't know if I have.
We have some more.
We have a couple of these. And I'll tell you what, I will find a giveaway to do with one of these. These things are fantastic. These are really good. So
Kendra,
anyways.
I don't think we have I don't think we have pink, but I think we have teal and silver, or
I think we have that hot pink.
I think it's like a hot pink.
I don't know. We'll look and see.
We'll look, and I'll send you pictures.
I'll have Randy send you a picture, because you were the one that won the last one, and you'll get those on Monday. But it is just, they are really good. They are branded with our logo stuff on it, and then we're going to be running some more hats this upcoming month. So we'll get some more hats available to people, which you'll be able to buy on our online store, which is coming soon.
We're also
our swag shop.
Yeah. I think Hal and I are going to talk about doing stickers and possibly shirts.
We have stickers.
Well, we have stickers now, but just doing more stickers so that you guys can also hand out the love.
If you want a sticker, we'll find out a way to make that happen. A way for you to cover postage, and we'll drop you a sticker.
And I think at some point we're going to be doing shirts too, but that's going to be a little bit down the road. So.
Well, I think that's going to go in our swag shop. I think we're going to find a way to do t-shirts in our swag shop. I'm going to do a couple styles. We're going to do these nice red cap work shirts, which I love these. My closet is pretty much full of these.
He really likes them, but I would like some lady shirts. So we'll figure it out.
We are going to do some women's V-necks and scoop necks. That'll be screen printed, not embroidered. And then we're going to do some embroidered men's work shirts, and we'll do some screen printed shirts too eventually. But we're working on that. That all takes money.
But when you subscribe and you tell your friends to subscribe, that helps us out.
It helps us a lot. The more subscribers, the easier it is for us to get marketing deals and branding deals.
Yeah.
And then our Instagram too. People don't realize the amount of leverage you get with Instagram. So if you have an Instagram account, please go over to the 18 Summers Instagram and follow it, because it is good for us as a channel. It is good for us marketing wise.
Yeah, Kendra.
Right. Yes, that sure would be great. We need to figure that one out.
That one would be hilarious. I've seen several other people that have that same, not that same, but pretty much the same
idea
wording on it. Yeah. So we're going to have to look at that more carefully, because you have to worry about infringement stuff. So we're just going to look at that a little bit more. But yes, the hooking up thing, that is absolutely hilarious. I love that. It's great.
So I want to go back to something really quick, because Dawn, I'm gonna share one of your something you do. I actually have really enjoyed watching your videos on your Friday night fireball with Don Larimer. So do me a favor, put if you can, go ahead and type out a link to your videos. I don't know. We've got to figure out a way to make sure that your videos are public, because I like your Friday night fireball with Don Larimer videos. Those things are great. And I think it's a great idea. I think people underrate the amount of potential there is in social media videos. I have a person we interviewed for the podcast that'll be coming up, who specializes in social media marketing, including through video, and he does a great job. So, anyways, we'll definitely make sure you get that when you listen to the podcast. But I don't know. It's we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes. I want to be respectful of your guys' time. I know you can cut out and go anytime you want. So don't feel like you're obligated to stay, but you are welcome to stay as much as you want. Don, I you know what? I started out mine kind of rough too, and I still feel like I'm rough on mine, but I think they're absolutely great videos. I love the idea, and I think it's great for people to connect in that way. So I'm actually gonna wind up sharing that video on our 18 Summers page just because I think it's great. It's so cool to be able to connect with people. I mean, we're 2,000 miles plus away from home right now. And yet being able to chat with people all around the country it's a lot of fun. It's kind of neat. And, just the ability to do it is really cool. So I don't know.
I think we've
fun.
all hit those moments of a little bit of homesickness and stuff like that. But I think that doing things like this helps us connect, helps us remember Facebook is great. Messenger is great, but there's a difference between seeing and interacting with your friends every day, and you miss that every day. But doing stuff like this helps us reconnect a little bit more. So it's been great. Kendra, I'm going to let Hal at some point get with you about how to do the blog, because I have no idea.
I'll be honest with you. The easiest thing to do is go get a free website from Wix. That is the nice. Thank you, Don. That's really cool to hear.
That's very sweet.
Kendra,
that's very sweet, Don.
Wix is really cool because you can actually do a free account with Wix. It's super easy to build. Actually, that was one of Alima's homework assignments. She wanted to start doing a little bit of photography on the side just for fun. And so one of her homework assignments was to get onto Wix and build a website for that. And it makes it really easy, and you don't have to pay for it. They have their branding on it, but it's very minor. Or you can spend, a couple bucks a month and have the branding removed and have it, with a domain that goes right into it and everything. But honestly, that's the best way to start, is just go. It's kind of like setting up the old Blogger accounts. It's very easy, grab and drop. It's so quick and easy. So, Don, I love that because it's funny. That's one of the things we set out to do with 18 Summers, especially with the podcast, is to encourage people and inspire people to do something different and to step out. And I think it's so cool. I think I've realized this week how underrated Skype is. I know there's a lot of people who use Skype for business calls and that, but talking with a couple of my older friends that I haven't seen since we left Arizona, but I've gotten to chat with them face to face on Skype. It's really neat. I mean, you're not right there with them, but it sure is kind of a new way for us to reconnect. JP,
hey, JP,
hi.
Okay, hi, JP. Were you on here last time? I know I'm gonna find this JP guy. Were you on here last time? Because I wanted to send you some information, but then I realized once we got off,
if it was you,
that I wasn't able to do it. So I wanted to say hi and
so was it
your
you?
Brain a little bit
was
more.
it you, JP? Were
Was
you
it
here
you?
last time?
Was it you?
So, anyways, but yeah,
Yes, it was you. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry.
So
moving on.
So wait, JP, are you from Canada? Is he our Canadian friend?
Yes, he's our Canadian photographer friend.
I'm gonna laugh if you're wrong.
We're waiting.
We're gonna wait.
We're waiting. I think it was because he was asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I think it's so underrated. I think Skype, FaceTime, we have access to that right here so much, and it's so. Yes, he is the Canadian. All right, yes. Awesome. So it is so underrated because you get that face-to-face connection. And Don, you had mentioned to me, because I wanted to talk to you about our podcast. And you had mentioned about maybe coming on and interviewing me. And I got to thinking, because at first I was like, I don't know if I want to be interviewed. And I got to thinking about, should. Excuse me, my goodness. But I think it would be great to kind of be able to do that. So I'm going to be in contact with you about that, Dawn.
JP, I'm going to give you my Instagram and everybody else who's on here, my Instagram, so that you can find me and just shoot me a message about what you think about my the pictures that I've done, because I'm very curious to hear from a professional about what I do.
I think honestly the iPhone has been great in taking pictures because it really eases it up. I know when I use the Canon, there's different features and functions, and trying to figure out which lens to use and which aperture setting and all that. The nice thing about the iPhones is it makes it really, really simplistic. And there's a lot of new options on them too to kind of help with that. So that's kind of nice.
I think for me though, with my photography, it's more about, because I was explaining it to Hal, I would really love to take more time taking pictures, because when I take the pictures, I have to get it quick. Everybody who has kids knows you have about 2 seconds for that shot. If you don't get it, then you ain't going to get it. So, but for me, because I also have the kids and stuff, and I've got to keep my mind on all of that, I can't contemplate, okay, this lighting is good. This lighting needs to be tweaked. This angle needs to be this way or this way. I don't have time for that. It's point and shoot, edit, and filter. That's all I got. It takes, like, I have like 2 seconds. So I really would love to do a lot better with that. With my photography. I don't know how yet. I'm still learning.
Well, and I'm lucky because Randy is so great with the kids and stuff, that I've been able to really take time and get what I want to capture. And I'm going to show this. This is going to be goofy to show it from here, but I'm going to show this picture. This is on our Instagram feed. And if you get a chance to go look at it. But this cardinal was kept landing on the mirror of my truck. You can see it on the mirror here, on the mirror of my truck. And I was able to just sit there and just wait for it. I had my camera on a rapid repeat, and I was able to just sit there and wait for it. And every time it landed, I just started repeating photos. And we put 2 of them up on our Instagram feed. That was one of them. And then we had what I called the cardinal yoga pose, which is this one right here. Tail in the air, wings down, as it was just getting ready to take off. And I've got some great pictures. And I'm really blessed because Randy is so good with letting me get that stuff done, because she, as we've talked about what we wanted to brand this channel to be in our Instagram and the whole 18 Summers brand, she's been behind it 100% to where she's let me really step away at times and do what we feel I need to take care of in order to grow that. And that really, I think that's been huge in being able to put this together. So I think that's neat. I'm going to go through these comments because a lot of comments have popped up in the last couple seconds while I was yapping. Thank you, JP on the mic. This is our condenser podcasting mic. It's not the most expensive one, but it's super good quality for what it is. It's a Neewer 700, and then it came with, I don't remember if the mic itself came with the pop screen or if it was the arm that I got. I also have the Neewer NW100 power box, whatever it's called. So I appreciate that. This has been really good, and I hope the audio is very clear on this, because it really is good for doing these videos. Excuse me, my goodness.
Dawn, we will definitely hit you up when we get to the city, when we get to New York. That was one of the things that I've been to New York. I took a day trip there, and then I went to Staten Island to see the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. Awesome. It was so amazing. Seriously, it's one of the things that you have to do if you're in New York. But that's something that Alima's really, really wanted to do. She's really wanted to go see New York. And I, like I said, just took a day trip, so I didn't even really get to see anything or a whole lot. But we don't know what to do there. Well, we're at this point, we're just like, we just know we want to go.
One of the things is we are meeting up with some old friends, our friends Ted and Barbara, who we used to work with in Arizona. And we are going to be meeting up with them because we're staying in New Jersey for a week at a really nice campground there. And then we are also staying in Pennsylvania. and we're going to actually be a week at our friend's house in Pennsylvania, and we're all going into the city together because I will admit I'm horrible at. There's one thing I'm really terrible at. I mean, there's probably a couple things,
There's a couple.
maybe, but one of the things I'm really terrible at is going out and adventuring, because I'm one of these people that we will start out and go, okay, well, let's go see things. And I really don't, I want someone to tell me, all right, we're going here, we're doing this. I don't like having to figure it out because I just feel like I don't know what to choose. So our friends, Ted and Barb, are going to go with us, because they know where to go. They're from Pennsylvania. They've been into the city numerous times. So they're going with us to show us around, because otherwise I would walk in, we'd go see Times Square, and I'd be like, I don't know, let's go home.
Yeah.
We are doing a day trip into New York, and we're going to try and capture as much of that as possible in that day.
I have a feeling if I have my way, my photography is going to be blowing through the roof on Instagram feed, because
Lots of pictures.
that's
part of the reason for the new
I had
phone.
to get my new phone. I love taking city shots. I don't know if I'm really good at it or not, but I really try. But city shots for me are so much fun. I love it. You're such a butt. I know he used to farm potatoes and snodgrass.
All right, let me look at the next comments here. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. I really try with the videos. It's really difficult. I take a lot of time to edit those videos. I think I could do them quicker, but I really try to put a good story behind them and make sure that it flows well. If you've seen the horse video we shot in Florida, I loved the video. I was really disappointed in myself for that audio, the windy audio. And right away, because of that, we went out and bought lavalier lapel mics to fix that issue, because that was very frustrating for me to put that beautiful video together and then have that terrible audio. And so that was one of my must-dos. I want it to be the best. The pictures, I really appreciate that too. I will say that I do edit my photos in Photoshop, because I like to, and I like to change. I like to add and brighten the colors up. I don't have all the filters I would love to have on my lenses, and our Canon is a great camera, but I don't have the lenses I would love to have. So I do go in and edit a little bit. But I appreciate that. We really try, and Randy tries. Even Alima's photograph, she's done a lot of great photographs.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have checked out her Instagram or not.
We have to get a link. We'll have to put a link.
We'll put a link for Alima's. But she really has a way of capturing a sunset.
I'm trying to read the comments. I'm all like,
I know. He's such a goofball. She has a way of capturing the sunsets and thinking a little bit outside of the box, which, being a creative mind, you've got to think outside the box, because if you just think inside the box all the time, it's going to look like everybody else's. And I love that she likes to think outside the box. So anyway,
JP, I want to comment on what you said up there. You said the best kind of camera is the one that you have with you when the moments needs to be captured. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Use what you have.
Yeah. Capture
the moment, regardless of what you have. And I think we were talking with some young people tonight. We had gone on a date. We went out to dinner, and we wanted to go get a dessert or coffee. And where we're at, there was nowhere to go.
There was nowhere.
So we drove 30 minutes outside of town to find a Starbucks. And when we got there, this young guy and his girlfriend were in a truck, and they pulled up our YouTube channel, and we went into Starbucks and had coffee. Then we went next door to get Randy's phone from the Verizon store that was there. When we came out, he introduced himself to us, and we got to talking. And one of the things we talked to them about, and we talked to a lot of people about, is use what you have. Don't wait until you have something better, because if you're always waiting for the right tool, the right moment, the right this, the right that, you'll never get it done. So I am an absolute believer. The right camera is the one you have when you have it. We have an older camera. I don't even know what it is. I don't remember if it's a Canon or what it is.
It's a Sony.
It's a Sony. It's just a point and shoot type of thing. We gave it to the kids to take pictures because it's still a camera and it captures pictures. It's probably only 2 or 3 megapixels, but it does the job. And to me, that's what's important is use what you have, and eventually you can get something better, but use what you have. So
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I would love to be able to use our bigger camera a little bit more, but like I said, with the kids, it makes it really hard. So what I have is my phone, and I use that, and I use filter. I do use some filters. If I don't use filters, then I definitely, give that credit. But you get what you get. You use what you have. I loved that you said that, and it's just what you do, and that's what it is. It is what it is.
So, all right. So JP, I'm gonna skip a couple comments and I'll come back up. JP said I'm also not on Facebook.
I don't hate you. It's all right. I don't hate you. You're totally good. It's fine.
That's so funny.
So the pictures that you probably saw of old Nick's were Hal's.
Those are mine.
Because he took the man when he stop it. You're gonna break your arm patting your back. Because he's able to take that time to really put a thought into the shots that he gets, he's able to get them like that. Otherwise, I would have more too. But I don't.
This is a good one right here in that picture. That's one of my favorites. And again, this is the features of the iPhone, is being able to have that blurred background, that portrait mode. I feel silly sharing these on here. It's weird. But we try to capture what we can capture when we can capture it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, again, whether it's when we're in Charlotte and we're taking pictures there, whatever it is, you use what you have. We actually had the camera battery die on us one day. And so I switched over to my old iPhone. And you know what? So be it. I pulled out I don't even know what it was. I think it was an iPhone 5. It was what we had. So it's what we used. It's just those things that you just do. So
yeah. JP, I really appreciate how supportive you are with what we're trying to do. And I love that I don't know. I love the comments that you're leaving. I think it's really helpful and really, just really awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us.
JP, I'm going to have to check out Flickr. I haven't really looked at Flickr, and maybe that's something that as a brand I need to look at. I guess I really haven't looked at it too much.
It's funny because you're saying that moments are fleeting, and that's exactly what it is. That moment, you can't create that. That was a one shot deal, and our kids show us that all the time. I have tried to take pictures with these kids and get them to be the artistic, artsy fartsy kind of things. But the best ones that I've found are the ones that happen in a split second, and either you get it or you don't. And if you don't, then you just don't, and you suck it up, you move on, and you go on to the next shot, or you just wait, and sometimes they happen to do it again, and it's funnier. You just never know what you're going to get. But I think that's true with life. It's you get what you get, and you make it work, and you move on if it doesn't. She
used to say, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit to the kids when they would complain about it.
I say it all the time. I do.
You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's see. What's the next? Excuse me. So yeah, JP, the old Nick photos, those were mine. We're actually going back. We shot some product photos for them while we were there. I have I don't know what brand it is. I have a photo box with an LED light in it. One of the white photo boxes you put the backdrops in. And we shot some product photos while we were there. Lesson learned as an amateur photographer: don't use a green background on clear bottles, because then your bottles become green bottles. So it was really terrible. We have to go back to the whiskey distillery to retake pictures.
I tried telling him that in the first place, but now I know why he didn't listen to me.
Right. It was just we wanted to go back and buy more whiskey.
It was a ploy.
That's right. But it is true though that, and I was looking at it thinking, okay, well, I can edit out the green, no problem. Took the green background out. It was a contrasting background. It didn't even dawn on me that green was going to blend through the bottles. And it was just silly. I should have known, and I didn't. And so the pictures look great, except for around the edge of the glass. It looks like every glass is green. And
that just happens.
It is.
But that's how you learn. And you learn by making mistakes. Thankfully, this is something that we can correct and we can fix. But hey, it happens. Not a big deal.
So we're going to go back on Tuesday or Wednesday and reshoot all those pictures, and I'm excited to do it.
Hey, I noticed that a couple of new people popped on, so if you want to leave a comment, that would be great, so we know who you are.
Yep.
thank you guys for spending so much time with us. I think we've been over here like an
hour
hour.
and a half.
So thanks for bearing with us and all of our crazy. We really appreciate it.
So let's see what else is going on here.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It is not the camera that takes the nice shots. It is the photographer. And that's again a testament to it doesn't matter what equipment you have. I actually talked to a kid a couple weeks ago who was vlogging, and he's using just an old iPhone. And he was like, "Oh, I really want to get a Canon." You know what? I was blessed to get the Canon 70D that we have. Some friends of ours sold it to me. It wasn't a camera we could afford at full price, but we were able to use it, and it's been great for us. We really appreciate it. But you don't have to have it. We started our videos on 2 GoPros, a GoPro Hero 3 and a 3 Plus. So it doesn't take the newest and nicest to make these things start. You can start with whatever.
Our family, we're horse people, and it's true with everything. It does, you use what you have. And you make it work with what you have.
Even if you have a broken horse.
Well, you can't really with a
even if it's an old broken horse, ride it like you stole it, run it into the ground.
No.
If it breaks one leg, it still has 3 more.
No, that's not how that works. You can't do that. But my point is, my family grew up. We didn't have a lot of everything. Our brand new clothes shopping was the thrift store. So we made it work with what we had. And that's how I've grown up my whole life. We made it work with what we had. If we wanted something different, then we worked to get what we want that's better. But just because you doesn't listen, you might have a $50,000 horse, the top tack, the top line, everything, and you can't ride worth crap. So but you might also be on the other spectrum where you got a free horse and you don't have great tack, but you ride better than somebody in that dressage arena. And I can guarantee you there's a lot of people who are like that. So anyway, yeah. Okay, Kendra, we love you.
See you on Monday.
We will see you Monday. And I look forward to giving all those babies hugs.
I'll look up the name of the restaurant that we're meeting at,
yes,
and we'll message you with that, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But you're right, JP. The photo boxes, the one we have is actually pretty decent. I think it's gosh, I don't know. It's an 18 inch or a 24. Maybe it's a 24-inch cube. It's a pretty good size one.
Yeah, it's big.
With the LED bar across the top that you plug in, it actually is a really good size. I think we were able to get 2 full whiskey bottles in the shots.
It's a 24-inch.
Yeah,
it's a 24-inch box.
It's a pretty good size box. So we were able to use that, and it was really cool to use. I don't know. I really liked using it. I wish I had, I do have a couple of pictures, so I'll show you here.
Yes. And JP, I got to tell you, it doesn't matter. You have a shirt on, you have underwear on, you've got pants on. That's what matters.
It's a pretty decent sized box. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. You're right. As long as the basic clothing necessities are met and you spend your money on the things that you love doing, then that's what matters. Nobody's going to sit there. And I have never had a person come up to me and be like, "What's your shirt? Where'd you get it?" That's because you're a snob.
I'm always like, "What are you wearing?"
I tell my kids, I'm like, "Listen, nobody cares if you're wearing the latest trendy thing. No one cares. They care that you have clothes on."
It reminds me of that episode we just watched. That episode of the Cosby Show the other night.
Oh yeah,
where?
Okay, the episode is, I don't remember what season it's on, but the episode name is called The Shirt.
So it's where Theo goes shopping with his mom, and he buys this shirt, and it's a $95 designer shirt with contrasting colors and everything. And
it's silk.
Yeah, and Bill Cosby's like, "What? How much did you spend all that?" And he's like, "No, you can't." So it winds up being that his sister winds up sewing this shirt together for him that just looks horrendous.
It is awful.
And he was embarrassed to even try and wear it, but he walked out in it in front of his date, and his date was like, "Oh my gosh, that's the best shirt. It reminds me just of the one that so-and-so makes." And so all of a sudden it was like the new fashion thing. It really doesn't matter what you're wearing, or if it's a $5 worth of material sewn together really terribly, or a $95 brand shirt.
Yeah, really. Yeah, you can buy $95, can buy everybody a shirt.
And remember that this was filmed in like the late 80s, early 90s, the Cosby Show, like late 80s, I guess. So $95 back then, that's like spending $200 or $300 on a shirt now.
I'm sorry. I know if I know that
Mm.
I can go get the same shirt or something that's very similar somewhere else that's less expensive, honey, you better believe it. I'm going to go somewhere else because I'm not wasting my money on a shirt I know I can get somewhere else cheaper.
That's the nice thing about the apparel company that we with our printing. I pay wholesale for my shirts, man. I order shirts. I'm like, oh, I'll take one of those for me. Oh, you need 20 of those? That's fine. I'm gonna buy one for me. So I haven't paid more than, I don't know, $5, $6, $7. These are a little bit more expensive, but that and Ross, like I shop at
Oh,
Ross.
Ross is amazing.
Yep.
Ross, that I think is where the majority of where we get all of our clothes at.
I'll tell you a quick little story. I bought my favorite pair of jeans from Ross, and I had them for a long time. They were Vigos brands, and I didn't know where I didn't know how much they were retail. I just know I bought them for like $12. Well, one day they finally wore out. And
he about cried.
Yeah,
it was a sad day.
Okay, I didn't just about cry. I was nowhere close. You know what? So I wound up going out and thinking, okay, I'm going to go online and see if I can find these pants. They were like $120 for these jeans. No, thank you.
No, Ross is not the same as Dick's.
Ross is like a TJ Maxx. It's like a discount. It's basically like a closeout store.
Yeah.
It's all new stuff, but it's like closeouts from the factory or like imperfections. There might be a mistake or a tear that's been sewn up, something like that. But
it's the clothes like they have. I just went there and they had Calvin Klein jeans, like $30. That on the tag it tells you if you went to the department store what it would cost. Those were like $100, $200 jeans for like $20. So I don't know if they're authentic, but I do know that I would rather spend $30 on a pair of jeans than $130 for a pair of jeans. Yeah. And yeah, Lululemon is a waste of money.
It's Lululemon.
Whatever the heck it is, I don't care. I don't buy that crap because it's too expensive. And I'm like, I'm not going to wander around in tights. Okay.
But even if they had regular style, the amount that they charge,
that they charge is so ridiculous.
It's still $5 worth of material,
right? And I'm not going to spend that. Yeah. I just find it ridiculous. There's another couple. Athletica is the same way. Athletica is a woman's athletic apparel.
That's Alima laughing in the background. She's our cackler.
Yeah, she's our cackler. But yeah, Athletica is the same thing. It's a women's athletic clothing store, and it is so super expensive. I'm like, I can go buy that at Ross for like $20. I'm not spending $100 for a bra. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, not going to happen. Yeah, that's Alima. Hey, Alima, you want to come say hi real quick?
Yeah.
All right, let's see Paul. What's Paul said?
Say hi, Alima.
Hi, guys.
This is Alima. She's our 15-year-old. I'm sure most of you have met her. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. She's our cackler. I used to cackle.
Wave, Alima.
I used to cackle when I laughed, and now I've passed it on to her. Isn't that a great thing?
Yes.
Awesome.
You know, JP, I don't know why people buy crap to impress other people. Nobody cares. Like in the end of the day, when you die, nobody's going to say, you know what? She didn't wear the latest trendy clothes. She's a bad person. No one's going to say that, because if they do say that, then they're jerks and they really don't deserve to be your friends anyway.
And I know, I mean, I can't imagine that there are people, I mean, I guess there probably are people like that, but it's not the majority. So I've never understood going out of my way to impress people. Now, I will say there are certain things that I do. I'm a little funny about certain things. Like I'm one of these people that I cannot leave my house in pajamas. And I know a lot of people, you know, they do this pajama thing. They go to Walmart and they're in pajamas and slippers, or no, I don't walk out of my bedroom. You know, when we had our Sticks and Bricks house, I wouldn't leave our bedroom until I was up, dressed, teeth brushed, hair done, you know, hair combed, hat on, right? It takes a lot. I got to go like this. And then it's done. But if I wasn't, well, they're watching it in the delay here. But if I wasn't ready, like I didn't go out. I'm not one of these people who just go out in gym shorts or pajama pants to Walmart and slippers. I'm sorry.
Yes, I agree with you. Sweatpants are good for couch time, movies, and popcorn, and that's
right.
About it. Unless you're going to actually work out. But other than that, you need to get clothes on, and people need to get clothes on. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Lima was so funny because we saw the Out of Goshen video that they did with her on it, and we were like, how come we're getting so many subscribers? We're like, we cannot figure this out. Well, then we remembered that we talked to Alima, and Alima talked to their family and like kind of made friends with them and stuff. And then they happened to just post that on their thing. They put that little blip in there of her. And I was like, well, holy cow, this is amazing. So that was awesome. They're really sweet people. Their family was so sweet. That day that their little girl had to go to the doctor because of her finger, I was at the park that day when that happened with the older kids while they were watching the little ones, and the parents were at the doctor's. It was amazing to watch them all take care of each other. I thought that was so super cool because there's so many kids now that are too busy on their phones, too busy not even paying attention and just off in La La Land. But to watch these kids actually look after one another and play with each other and be kind to each other was so cool. So
they were a really good family.
They
like,
were
very sweet.
Really super sweet family. Yeah. Oh, you're so cool. Thank you, JP. Yeah, we had a good time with that family. They were really super sweet.
Very sweet.
If you can ever run into them, Kendra, who was just on, Kendra Ruderman, her family too. She is amazing. She's such a sweet woman, and her husband are really great too. Yeah, Jenna with her finger. Thankfully it wasn't broken. Thankfully nothing was really wrong. Or it wasn't too serious. Those kids were just so super sweet. I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with the family. I think I talked with the mom a little bit and their dad just a tiny bit, but they were super sweet. Kendra and Kendra and Mosey. Kendra was just on here. They travel around too. Really sweet family. They've got 2 kids, and we're going to be meeting up with them like you heard Monday. But if you ever hook up with them, definitely do that because they're very super sweet.
Well, and that's some of the benefits of this RV and traveling is that we've met so many great people and we've been able to connect with people and then get to reconnect with them.
Yeah.
It's really neat. And then the Facebook communities for full-time travelers, it is amazing how friendly and inviting and informational they are. They're really just, they really are great, great groups that are more than willing to share information and just a lot of fun because they're just, I don't know, there's a lot of good people, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we met Alan and Margie Lundy. I don't know if anybody knows them, but
they have a YouTube.
They don't do YouTube, but they are on Facebook quite a bit. They're very active on a lot of the full-time family, full-time RVers Facebook groups. Oh my gosh, they're the super sweetest people, and they're so real and just down to earth. And I love that. I don't deal with fake very well.
Yeah, no,
Dawn, you have fun walking your dog, or maybe the dog walking you, whichever. Have fun with that.
Dawn, thank you for checking in with us.
Yeah, really, it was awesome.
I will be in contact with you in the next week.
Yeah.
Because I would definitely like to talk with you and we'll get on the podcast together for sure.
We've been on for 2 hours.
Really?
How's everybody doing?
An hour and 43 minutes.
How's everybody doing at an hour and 43 of listening to us talk?
Are we boring you yet?
Please, I need more.
You would?
Yes, Don, he will be getting with you. He'll be getting with you.
Yes, dude, we're on it. Like you and I, we're building a new brand. That's the way it's going to be. So,
and JP, that's one thing that we've by Don. One thing that we've noticed, JP, is that we watched. There's a bunch of YouTube people out there who are doing what we are doing, and they do the videos of where they've been, what they've been up to, and stuff like that. But you watch those. We're watching them, and I think there's a few of the families that we still continue to watch. But once you're out there and you're doing it, you don't have time. You're just so busy in your own adventures that I think it's just you don't have time to watch the other ones. But I think it is really great to get inspiration. I think it's really great to find places where you want to go that other people have been and get help, because RVing is not like an easy jump from sticks and bricks to mobile life. It's not an easy transition. And maybe that's
No.
a conversation for another day too. But just getting and seeing that, I know for us, getting prepped for doing this, we were so anxious to go. We wanted to just hit the road the next day.
Yeah, there was a lot to get ready and that, and you do want to jump the gun. It's just, I still follow some of the videos because it's inspirational for me. I think everybody has to draw inspiration from somewhere, and so I still do watch some of the videos, but it's true that you wind up being out there and doing so much that it does cut back. But in a way, I do miss seeing those videos because you really do start to feel a connection with those YouTube channels that you watch. So it is kind of cool.
JP, I don't think you're talking too much. I think it's really cool that you're interacting with us like
Yeah.
you are. And I think I'm really excited. I really love to hear what people have to say, and you're not hogging our time.
They're welcome to chime in at
You're
any
not
point.
hogging our time at all.
To which point I will say, Troy, hello. Troy Albright, a great friend of mine. I really consider him a great friend. And if you're not familiar with Troy's work, I would encourage you to go to truegarden.com or even go to my very first 2 YouTube videos, which are about True Garden, the Tower Garden growing systems, and the greenhouse that he built in Mesa, Arizona. Check that out. But truegarden.com, phenomenal company, really going above and beyond, bringing amazing fresh produce to the desert climate. I mean, they're growing in this greenhouse. They've got over 500 towers of produce that they can grow. Like, I think it's like, I don't know, Troy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 26,000 plants you can grow. It is amazing. And they have brought some amazingly fresh produce to the Valley of the Sun that can grow all year round, even in the highest of temperatures. Even when it's 115 degrees outside, that greenhouse is still in the 90s. And it's just, it's really, really cool. So
one thing about the Tower Garden fruits and vegetables that we've noticed is that there is a definite difference in the taste and the texture of what you get. And I miss
my lettuce from there. That was some of we were spoiled.
Yeah.
The children's home we were at actually got their produce, all their greens from True Garden. And now that children's home has actually had a donor come in and bless them with a huge donation to build a greenhouse just like True Gardens on the property there. And it is so they're going to be producing all of their own, well, about 85% of their own produce, including tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, lettuce, dill, basil. I mean, you name it, you can grow it. It's amazing what grows in these towers. And True Garden is fantastic. You're right, JP. Their website is amazing, and they have a really good guy doing that build there. But they ship seedlings all around the country. And if you buy a tower system, right, you could buy it through them, put it in your backyard, grow all year round. You can even move it inside if you're in a climate where it gets too cold in the winter. You can move it inside and put LED grow lights on it. It is phenomenal, the amount of produce and the quality of the produce you get off these. So Troy has really invested his life into bringing good nutrition into Arizona. And I will tell you, if you get a chance to look at their systems, they're amazing. You can buy through him the towers on an amazing installment plan. And I believe it's a 0% interest installment plan for 12 months. You can get the tower shipped to your house and everything, and then order the seedlings and grow your own plants. It is phenomenal and delicious and well worth it. And if I had a way to transport one of those towers on this RV without spilling water everywhere, I would be on it.
Well, and speaking to that, I kill just about everything. Can I just say that? It's a miracle that my children and the dog is still alive. Because if it is a plant, I can guarantee you it's not going to make it. But that Tower Garden, we were taking care of one for a little bit, and it was so easy. Like, seriously, all you had to do was remember to fill up the water, and that was about it.
Full, yep.
If you can make sure that the water is full, which I'm great at overwatering everything, that's pretty much how everything dies. If you can just remember to put water in the tank, you're going to be good to go.
Yep.
And the flavor that comes out of your food from cooking with the things that you're growing in there is so different than what you buy at the store. What you buy at the store will taste diluted and bland
Yep.
to compared to getting food from the gardens. It's so good. It is such an amazing thing.
All right, so I'll address these next two. So JP, the German Shepherd photo was crazy. And you know, the amazing thing was that was not staged.
That was not.
My phone, I was sitting on the couch working on my computer. The phone was on the couch next to me. The dog laid down, and because what he did, his leg kicked the phone up, and it happened. And so I pointed it out to Randy, and she went in and grabbed the picture. So that was not staged at all. And as far as the aquaponics, it's very similar to aquaponics. So aquaponics uses a water base, but usually with fish and an ecosystem in it. And then there's the hydroponics, which uses water and soil and horizontal growing in water. This is aeroponics, and the aeroponics becomes it's air and water. So the tower pumps water up the center channel of the tower, and then as it hits the top, it rains down. And at every level, there's a disc, a plate with holes, and it causes it to kind of rain down the tower. And so it winds up being water straight onto the roots of the plants, and the roots come out of a rock wool. You plant the seeds in rock wool, drop the pod into this tower, and it's just water and air.
Mm-hmm.
And the water is nutrient enriched. There's a grow solution. And this is what's important to know about these tower gardens is this is not a chemical based garbage, nutrients. The system is, you're right. Troy is saying it's vertical hydroponics, which would be, much. And it's different than aquaponics, but the system was developed by a gentleman named Tim Blank, and Tim spent 12 years working for Epcot, and they had their Land of Tomorrow or Futureland, Tomorrowland, something like that, and they had these aeroponic and aquaponic and hydroponic systems in that. And it was Tim that came out of that and then developed these towers. And the solution is phenomenal. Troy describes it as beyond organic because in order to be organic certified, you have to have soil. These don't have soil. So it really is the next step beyond. You're not worrying about a lot of the problems you can have with soil because you're not dealing with soil. So,
and even to find stuff that when you go to the farmers markets and things like that, if it's not in season, you're not going to find it. And so it's been really hard, but even still finding it at the farmers markets, there's a difference. Everything is so mass produced and grown so quickly that you lose so much flavor. And I think that then equates to you're losing a lot of nutrients. The other thing that I really loved about the gardens, yes, Troy, is that there's no weeds.
Yeah.
You don't have to weed anything. If you put it outside, you do have to worry about insects and stuff like that. But I don't think to as much of a degree as you do if it's planted in the dirt.
Correct. And even where we were at, there was a lot of rabbits, and we never had to worry about the rabbits. They didn't touch the towers.
So JP, I wanted to tell you. So Molon is our German Shepherd, and he's about 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
The dog is a crazy sleeper. Like he
sleeps like, in the weirdest
the dog is ways. like 50 pounds and tries to curl himself into a ball that's like this big.
Yeah. He tries to squeeze in anywhere.
He crazy sleeps. It's hilarious. He really does. He thinks that he's this teeny tiny thing, and no, he is not.
There's definitely a difference in the terms, JP, as far as the hydroponics, aquaponics, aeroponics. I actually have a very good friend back in Arizona who had what they called a pool garden, which is basically a lot of people that have a pool in their backyard, an in-ground pool, and they don't want it. They turn it into an aquaponic garden where you have a pond in the bottom with fish. With fish in that, and then the system pumps up and runs through. And so those are really cool, those pool gardens, but there definitely is a difference. And then as far as the farmers markets goes, We would love to shop at more farmers markets. They're just really difficult to find anymore.
They're really hard to find. And the other thing, to answer your next comment, is yes, not all farmers market produce are the same.
Yeah. Some of it's just leftovers from major distributors that people go and buy, and then they market it as if it's farm grown.
And it's not.
Like locally farm grown. It's not. It's like they went to a produce company who's got stuff that's got to go, and they buy it at a cheap discount and then show up at the farmer's market. And I will tell you, this is
and you're right, that is scary.
It is.
Yeah.
In Arizona, one of the farmers markets a lot of people show up at is the Gilbert Farmers Market in Gilbert, Arizona. True Garden actually sells produce there. What's interesting is originally when the Gilbert Farmers Market opened up, there was a lot of people coming in with produce, and they couldn't verify that they were growing it. They were actually doing the very same thing. They were going down to the Phoenix distributors, buying produce, bringing it down, taking labels off, and then selling it as organic or selling it as it was farm grown locally, and it wasn't. And so the Gilbert Farmers Market did a fantastic job of weeding all that out. What they did was they said, okay, if you want to sell at the Gilbert Farmers Market, we need to verify where you grow. So they started putting in a litmus test that you had to be able to show where everything was grown and be able to, prove that it was local farm fresh. And I absolutely love that, because then when you go down to the farmers market now in Gilbert, you know the origin of your food. And there are some great farms there. There's really some good farms there. A friend of mine has a farm called Synergy Farms. They have chickens, and they do these great vegetarian eggs, and they sell out every week. They sell out of eggs, very good eggs. True Garden does a phenomenal job of producing American. They produce American. They do a great job of producing amazing produce and then marketing it down there. And the beautiful thing about this is the cool thing about True Garden. When you buy produce from True Garden, it is not necessary. You're not buying food. You're buying
nutrients.
Well, you're buying you're buying live plants.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not harvested, roots cut off, like it's root on. And one of the things I used to love about it is we could put that in a little bit of water in our fridge. A head of lettuce would last forever.
It really did.
If we wound up going out to eat more or not using it, we didn't have to worry about it going bad because it kept growing.
It's a live plant.
It was a live plant. It kept growing, and that was great. It was really really good. So,
and JP, to comment on your statement about it that it's disingenuous. Yeah, you know what it is. We went to there was a roadside stand that we happened to go to in Florida. The lady was selling all kinds of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, we were excited.
We were really super excited, and then we bought some of her produce, and as we were driving home, I'm like, why do these bananas have stickers on them like they were from the store?
Yeah.
And Hal's like, well, maybe they have to put that on there. And then he thought about it for another minute, and he's like, no, she probably just went to the store, bought those, or the distributor, and then bought them and told us that it wasn't, that it was homegrown or whatever.
I hadn't looked at the stickers until we were back. And when I looked at them, they were produce out of state. Like it was like product of Mexico.
Yeah.
And you start going, wait a minute, you're selling at a farm side stand like it's locally grown. And it's very disingenuous.
It's very sad. And that's the other problem that we have in America is that people want all organic and stuff like that. They want to eat. I think people genuinely do want to eat more natural food and more healthy food. But the problem is that it has become so expensive for people to do that. You would think that it would be cheaper to eat or to buy produce from a farmer's market, but it's sometimes not. It's sometimes more expensive, even the pick your own places. Because we were going to go do some of those too. There's a bunch of pick your own blueberry, peaches, and all kinds of stuff over in North Carolina and Florida and stuff like that.
Georgia.
But the problem is
Georgia peaches.
The cost of the stuff there is even so much more than the grocery stores. So you're kind of like, you want to eat healthy, you want to eat good food with a lot of nutrients, but it's going to cost you. And so when people complain about the price of their food, it's expensive to eat healthy. But then you also have to look at the fact, are you willing to sacrifice your health or because that's what happens when you eat food that's out of a box and with nutrients and things like that in it that you can't even read, and it looks like some fourth grader just put a whole bunch of letters together and this is what you get, that's your ingredient. When you have stuff like that in your food, you're going to sacrifice your health. And I think Troy would agree then that a lot of the people that he sees and a lot of the issues that we now have in the American culture and society is because of the crappy food that we eat. What?
So JP said, I try to eat whatever's in season. Sadly, in winter, all I can eat here is snow. It's so funny. You know,
Snow cones are your best friends. Just don't eat the yellow ones.
Really quick to clarify what Randy said, she said that a lot of the people Troy sees. Troy is a pharmacist.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Troy is he has a compounding pharmacy, and so he deals a lot in health, which is why he invested into his greenhouse and bringing that in. And you're right. Troy just said, buy local and know your farmer. And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's what is tough for us. But I love the fact that I know when we go home in November, I am so looking forward to picking up produce from True Garden.
Yeah.
Because there really is Troy, nothing like it.
Troy, you need to keep him in check though, because look, our fridge.
You can't see the fridge.
I'm 5'4". Our fridge is this wide.
Yes, we have a very small fridge.
It's tiny.
It's 10 cubic feet.
That's it. So that's the other issue that we have to think about too when we're going to the grocery store is that, okay, so you might be getting a great deal on meat or produce or something like that, but you have this much space. You can't see it. This much space.
Yeah, it's not very.
And no, I'm not trying to vogue, but that's just it. That much space for your food. So if you can't fit it in there,
yeah,
you're going to have a problem.
That's some of the, and then even buying.
Yeah, that's stuff we have to think about.
And it's been tough to buy because you want to stay away from the dry packaged goods, the heavy chemical stuff, the things that have names you can't pronounce.
Yes, I do play Tetris. I had to do that today, and it's actually pretty funny. Sorry, go ahead.
Grocery Tetris.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And you know what, JP? I would really like to go to Canada. There's a woman there. She's at Keystone Equine. She is a trainer of ponies and horses. She does a really great job. She's up, I think, near Alberta. And I would really love to go to Canada, but it's too darn cold.
Well, Canada is on our list, though. I think we talked about this last time.
Oh,
Canada is on our list.
Yeah.
Because we definitely want to go to Canada. But, you know, these darn U.S. rules now with having to get what do you call it? Passports. You have a passport or a passport traveling card to go into Canada now, which is just seems silly, but it is what it is.
7 degrees off. Cool. Hi, how are you? It's good. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Oh, so we could get away without refrigerating it. Yes, that's awesome, yes. Troy. I know Halim has really struggled. This boy loves tomatoes and lettuce on his sandwiches like every time. And the poor kid, the lettuce, unfortunately, takes up the majority of the room in our refrigerator, even if we just get the iceberg. But I hate getting that because it has no nutrients. It's crap. So we usually get the romaine, but the romaine is really big.
Yep.
It takes up a lot of lands, a lot of, what do they call it? It's not landscape, it's
space.
Real estate.
Real estate.
Takes up a lot of real estate in our fridge.
So 7 degrees off. Cool. Thank you. Or 7, is it 7 degrees off? I can't normally when you look at the names, there's like a differentiation in the color between the name and I can't see it.
I think it's 7 degrees off. Cool.
Okay. So from here you can see it on my screen. I can't see it. So cool. Thank you for joining us.
Troy. Yeah. So when we go back to Arizona, you're going to have to educate me a little bit more on how to keep all this stuff, because I have no idea. And you know, everyone's used to
I could tell her, but she won't listen to me.
Shut up, you. Everybody's used to refrigerating everything. I know over in Europe, they don't refrigerate their eggs. Did you know that?
Well, the only reason we do it in America is because they get washed in the factory.
Hey, Jasmine Robinson, it's nice to meet you too. Thank you for coming over from out of Goshen.
Nice. Awesome. Man, this is exciting. I know this is a long video for us. 2 hours is long. We don't mind though. The little kids are in bed.
We have all night, folks.
No,
No, we don't.
No,
I
we
gotta
don't.
go to bed.
But no, this is really exciting to do this long video. I'm actually enjoying this, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun to interact with people. So thank you for joining us. For those of you just joining us, I'm Hal. This is Randy.
Hi.
If you've seen any of our videos, you know that we have 4 kids. We travel full time. If you haven't seen our videos now, you know that too.
Troy, don't go to bed yet. You got to stay up with us.
No, Troy has a busy week. So
no, it's an all-nighter.
no, the Juice Plus convention is happening this week in Arizona, and
Nice.
Troy's got a beautiful display. The Phoenix Convention
Nice.
Center put towers. They put a mini farm up at the convention center on their east patio, and so Troy's been maintaining that, and they're also getting ready for the big Juice Plus conference out there, which is huge. I mean, they're expecting thousands of people at that conference.
Troy,
so
are you going to speak there?
Troy's
you-
been plugging away over there.
Are you gonna do a speak? Are you speaking there, or are you just putting stuff up and taking care of it?
Troy's
I'm
there.
excited for you. That is really super cool. Yeah, Jasmine, you're from Arizona. Where from?
Yeah, what part of Arizona?
Yeah,
Because
I'm
we actually
curious.
came out of Mesa.
Yeah.
I grew up. Well, Randy grew up in Buckeye, and then
Well, no. Buckeye Tonopah area. It's still out in the middle of nowhere.
that makes it better.
It's
Where the
out in
truck
middle
stop.
of nowhere.
Basically, she grew up next to a truck stop.
I actually literally had a house that was right next to a truck stop. So
And then
yes.
oh, good.
Oh,
She's
you're in Mesa. Awesome. You should go visit Troy over at True Garden.
Yeah, if you know what, honestly,
That'd be awesome.
what is
You should-
tomorrow? Sunday. So
Tomorrow,
Monday, Tuesday,
Sunday, it's closed.
Wednesday. I think it's open. Troy, are you guys open this Wednesday?
Nice, Troy.
You know, question
Troy's
answer
doing a
period on
question
Thursday?
answer period on Thursday at the thing, but
But-
Tim Blank is going to be speaking. Cool.
Check out Jasmine. Check out True Garden. It is in Mesa. They have they sell produce. I don't know if they're gonna have it. If they're gonna be open this week, but Troy can answer that. But we are from Arizona. Randy from the Buckeye Tonopah area. I was born in Los Angeles, but moved to Chandler when I was 10, and then grew up in Chandler. And then we lived in Mesa for the last 6 years before we hit the road. So
Yeah.
all right, so it is open. True Garden, Jasmine. True Garden is open Wednesday and Saturday from 8 to noon. It is at the corner of Recker and University, the southwest corner of Recker and University. If you want some good produce, I
That's the
highly
place to
recommend you go check it out.
Mhm. The other thing is we're going to go back to this video again because I know that we've said a lot of stuff. We're going to be putting a lot of links.
I keep shaking the table. I'm sorry, guys.
We'll be putting a lot of links in the descriptions because there's a lot. There's a lot. So
That'll be Randy's job, is to go back and watch this 2-hour-long video.
crap. I take that back.
So
It stinks that all the comments disappear after you're done with the video. I really thought that they stuck around.
I don't think they do. Last time we checked, they all disappeared.
all
The live
disappeared.
chat ones disappear, and then the new comments come up when it goes live.
Yeah, so it's really frustrating that it all disappears.
So Jasmine, Troy is putting up the address right there, 5949 East University Drive. Huh. Troy, I'm gonna have to go look. I think I've been putting 4959 on everything. I'm gonna have to go look and see. On my,
I've
not
been
your
doing it
stuff, my
right.
stuff.
I've been doing it right.
On my stuff. I'm gonna have to look. Boy, oh boy. All right. So, anyways, but yeah, so if you're in Mesa, check that out because it is
Yeah.
so worth it. And if you're not familiar with Juice Plus, check out Juice Plus too. They have some great products, and you can find those through the True Garden website too, truegarden.com. Not that this is a sales pitch for True Garden, but it just happens to be something that I'm passionate about. And I know Troy is, obviously, because he's invested his life into it, and he did it for the sole purpose of bringing good quality produce to the valley. So definitely worth it. JP Quick Tip, you have to go back and rewatch the video. Yes, that is something my brother-in-law does, and he told me that he
What?
does that. You can watch your videos, like you can watch videos on YouTube up to 2 times speed.
But how do I know? But then I still have to listen to it because
Well,
I
it
have to
plays.
know.
It just talks really fast. You can't, you just gotta listen for it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So yeah, play it at
Heck
1.5
yeah.
speed, and yeah.
Thanks,
That's
JP.
my
You
brother-in-law.
just saved me like so much time. Thank you.
My brother-in-law, whenever he watches videos or listens to audiobooks, and all that, he always does it at a faster speed.
That's
So
cool. That's really super
it
cool.
is a good tip.
Cool.
But yeah, so awesome. What good?
Oh, I was going to ask Jasmine if she's on the road too. Yeah, time is money. Yeah. I was going to ask Jasmine if she's on the road or if she's is she visiting Mesa or does she live there?
We're just going to sit here and wait, Jasmine.
We're waiting. Your doesn't.
My brain doesn't work that fast. I'm one of those ones that can go through that really quick. I can read really quick.
I'm a little slower.
I talk too fast for her sometimes, and she's like, "Stop."
No, he mumbles. That's really what it is. And then he tells me, "No, I don't." Yeah, you do.
That's not nice. That's not nice at all.
That's okay. You saw the part about the squirrels, right?
Yes,
Did you miss that part?
So, but I have done the videos at faster speed. I have a hard time though because I like to watch them and listen, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess for me, it's one of those things where I like to kind of see what's happening. So sometimes if it's just an informational video, I'll watch that faster. Reviewing this one, I would watch it at a faster speed.
So Jasmine, you're looking for an RV. You just tell him to enunciate. I try, and then he tells me I'm not mumbling, and I say, "Yes, you are." He says, "No, I'm not." And then we go round and around and around. But I just, I'm like, that's nice, great, honey. Mm-hmm.
I don't mumble. I just am a soft talker. All right, so you said you sold your home in the HOA and renting now, looking for land, but we were toying with it. Listen, Jasmine, I will tell you.
Just do it.
Well, even if you're just not sure,
you're a soft talker. What?
I wasn't mumbling, JP. I was just talking softly. Jasmine,
we've had those conversations too.
Jasmine, if you are contemplating the RV thing, here's what I would recommend. They are really, you can buy a decent one very inexpensively. And I would definitely recommending.
You would recommend.
I am definitely recommending you go pick. Why can't I say definitely recommending? I'm definitely recommending.
Because you're broken and you're mumbling.
I'm not, whatever. Okay. So this is so difficult. Okay, so I am definitely recommending to you
there you go.
that you just try it out. Get an inexpensive one and give it a shot.
Yeah.
Our very first RV. So I'll tell you the story about how we got into RVing. Back in 2010, actually in 2009, we took a family vacation up to Montana, and we spent a couple weeks up there. When we got back, we really felt like we needed to move and change directions. So we wound up deciding as a family to move to Seattle. We worked with communicating with some churches up there, found one that needed a coffee shop opened up. We went up there to help out with this project. Long story short, the project fell through. 4 months later, we decided it was, we wanted to go back to Arizona, regroup with our friends, and figure out what we were doing. Well, we didn't have a vehicle of our own. We actually had sold everything, flown to Seattle, and we were borrowing a vehicle from some friends. And we decided to use our money to purchase an RV because we wanted to go to Arizona and visit and regroup. But we knew if we bought a car to go down, we'd have to find somewhere to stay. So we wound up finding a Class A motorhome, an older Class A motorhome for $3,200.
Yeah.
This was in 2010. It was a 1988 Pace Arrow, so it was 22 years old.
It had no slides.
It had no
slides.
Can I
just say that? It had no
But we only had 2 kids with us at the time, so it wasn't so bad.
No slides.
But it was a 30-foot Pace Arrow, and it only cost us $3,200. And I talked to the people we bought it from, and it was just a really amazing story of how we got it. But we wound up buying that, driving it down to Arizona, and spending the next 2 years in it between Arizona, Northern California, Oregon, and Washington. We sold that in 2012 when we moved to the children's home we wound up working at, and we sold it for $3,000. So we lost nothing on it. We lived in it for 2 years, and it was absolutely amazing. All we were out when we were finished was we had 2 years gone by, and a lot of experience that we gained, and it was really great. This time around, we decided to make this trip. We were looking for bunkhouses, and we were looking for the ideal one we wanted. What was crazy though in Arizona was the bunkhouses were super expensive because there wasn't a whole lot of used ones with 4 bunks and all the slides we wanted. So we wound up finding a 2-bed bunk that worked out fine because our 2 little boys are like 4, so they share a bed. And then our daughter has her own. My son takes the couch, the jackknife couch, and we have the master.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt again right here. This trailer is
27 and a half.
27 and a half feet long. So we have 6 people and a dog, which is about another child. So we have about 7 people in this house. So I told Hal, I said, Hal, this is not going to be our forever home because there's no way all of us are going to make this work forever.
But again, the only reason we got it was because it was what was in the market.
And wow, you have 6 under 18. Oh, honey.
No, we have, well, there's 4 kids in the house. We have, Randy has 2 daughters from a previous marriage that are 23 and 19. And then we have together a 15-year-old, 10-year-old, 5-year-old, and 4-year-old. And those are the ones we travel with.
Yeah. I really suggest if you have 6 kids and they're all under.
Oh, you have 6 kids.
Yeah, that's what it says. We.
Oh, we. I thought you said you, like
no,
we.
Not we.
Wow.
If you have 6 children under 18,
quad bunks.
You're going to need the quad bunks.
Or a 5th wheel. But it's hard to travel in a 5th wheel when you have 6 kids.
Yeah, you have 7 degrees off cool. You have 7 kids under 18 and a husband. And you are in a 3-bedroom house. Nice. So you're going to need a lot of space.
Well, you will, but here's the thing. This is the key that everybody forgets is this.
Go ahead.
You're not living in the RV.
Yes.
You are living out of it. You're sleeping in it, and hopefully you're using your outdoor space. You're following climates that allow you to be outside. Yes. If you're traveling, an RV makes sense. I don't really understand the stationary RVers that stay for 2 years in a spot. To me, at that point, I don't know. There's a lot of wear and tear on an RV in a situation like that. But if you're traveling, to me, it makes sense. But you're utilizing your outdoor space. So back to the story really quick. The reason we picked up this travel trailer was in Arizona, the bunkhouses that we wanted that were sized for us, they were like $40,000. And that was not what we wanted to spend our money on. We started looking on the East Coast, and there were travel trailers, the exact same models and everything, for $20,000 to $25,000. The reason being is a lot more people on this coast buy the RVs that are the bunkhouses, so they're more there's more of them out here.
Yeah.
In Arizona, it's much more common to find on the market, used or new, standard RVers that retirees would buy, or toy haulers, because people go out to the desert and things like that. And that's the difference between the coasts. Out here, there's a lot of families that go camping. They even just, they'll go to Maine, different places in the summer, the winter. I know a family in Florida. About twice a month, they take their travel trailer out to campgrounds. So they tend to buy the bunkhouse in that. So out here, we can, we wind up buying one for half the price. And so that's our goal, is when we get up farther north, we're going to wind up buying one for half the price. And we bought this one for $6,300.
Okay. I'm going to
hold on.
Go ahead.
We bought this one for $6,300, and we'll trade it in for about the same amount, and then we'll buy what we want. But it honestly, even though it's a little tight on rainy days or snowy days, it is perfect when you're living out of it. And I did see the next question, which is from Troy asking, how do you afford to RV full-time fundraising? So this is what we do. I have a printing brokerage based out of Arizona. And so from the road full-time, I still work. About 4 days a week, I do design work and printing. Through our brokerage, we do everything from embroidery, like this on our shirts here, these shirts. We do hats and apparel for different companies. And then we do print products, booklets, business cards, you name it, we do that kind of stuff. So that's what we do full time as we travel and be able to afford it. The other thing is we want to get into is we want to do more creative work. We want to do more YouTube creative work where we're putting together videos, and eventually we'd like to get paid for those, for the content we'll be putting together too. So
I want to just make a comment really quick. I hope that y'all didn't feel like I was judging you for having 7 and 6 kids. I have 6 of my own. 2 of them do not live with us.
Yeah.
I totally love large families. I think large families are the best. I had an ex-husband who was an only child, not knocking only children either, but large families
are
large
awesome.
Families are awesome. I love large families. I just want to put that out there for a second.
And the truth is, we really appreciate large families. And I think we would have loved, had we not spaced our kids out so much with 4 or 5 years between most of them, I think we would have had more kids.
Well, and I had a lot of health issues with as I had each pregnancy, they became more and more complicated.
Yeah.
So had we not had that factor, that factor right there was the deciding factor on why we only have 6. But if that wasn't an issue, I think we might have more. But it's not in the cards at this point. We're that plumbing has been fixed. So
wow, Troy, I didn't know you were from such a large family.
Troy, you have that's a big family.
So,
that's cool.
I want to go back to these questions. So we got so we answered that question.
So to find where we found this trailer at, we looked on Craigslist
and Facebook Marketplace,
Craigslist, and RV Trader.
Yeah, so RVTrader.com.
RVTrader.com, Craigslist, and Facebook Marketplace are the places that we searched for the most. Facebook Marketplace, do not be afraid to search outside of your area, because we found, like Hal said, in our area for Arizona, we were not going to find what we were looking for because it wasn't available on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to look outside of your region. You might have to do a little bit more work in trying to get your trailer to you or wherever you want to go. But in the long run, if that's what you really want, then you might have to do that.
But to speak to that, this is the other thing about ours. We knew we were coming out to the East Coast, so it didn't make sense for us to drive all the way out to the East Coast to buy an RV, to go all the way back to the West to downsize our house and then travel out here anyways. So we bought the one that we did, knowing it would get us through to where we were going before we got our next one. So
yes, Troy, we do actually take donations.
Yeah, we'll definitely take donations.
We will definitely take donations.
We don't advertise our Patreon page, but we do have a Patreon page. I think it is linked in most of our YouTube videos. We just don't advertise it, but we do have one. We're still trying to figure that whole thing out, but there is a Patreon page, and that would definitely help us. The more we have coming in, the more we can do the creative work we're trying to get into, which is telling stories like the video we did in Florida on the Gypsy Vanner farm, like doing stories about True Garden, the video we're going to be producing for Old Nick Williams Distillery and that. So there's definitely more we want to do on that kind of stuff. So
Alima's dying, so
yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
She's finding something absolutely hilarious, so just ignore her. Yes. The other issue that I had was when I had my last son, I was I 40? Calvin's no, I was
30.
I was in my late 30s.
Mid to late.
Yeah, and so they considered me high
risk. It's hard for us to remember because she's older than me.
Shut up, you. So they considered my pregnancies high risk because I was getting older. So that was the other issues. And I just, I love my kids, but I think God just told me with our last one, that's it. You're good. And having him, yeah, we're good. He's our challenge. But yeah, no, we're good.
Dude, we're good. Fireball.
He's oh my gosh, he's crazy.
I would put him on the video, but it would last like 30 seconds and he'd run into a wall.
Okay, so the little kid in the intro that's running off doing his own thing, all the time.
Go to our if you get a chance, go to our YouTube video that is the roll-in video, and it's basically the 45-second roll-in we use for all of our edited videos. And the kid that you see that's like standing by himself like this while we're all on the like jungle gym thing, or the one who we all put our hands together, he's the guy that jumps last.
Yeah.
Or we're walking down the little sidewalk and he's the one running around. That's Calvin. He is our fireball.
All the time. I think 7 Degrees, that is so super cool that you've adopted. We have friends that have adopted. We worked at a children's home where there were a lot of kids who just needed to be loved on. So we totally get the adoption. I totally commend the people who can take care of that and handle that. It's a whole nother ball of wax. So kudos to you both for doing that. There's a lot of kids, especially in Arizona, that need homes, and there's not enough people willing to help with that humongous problem.
So I'll give you an interesting statistic.
Super, super awesome.
This is why we really love, and that's why we're at
both
right now.
Both of you, Jasmine, you guys too, because, and Troy, your parents are, you guys. Oh, wow. I really commend everybody who can adopt. We have several friends who've adopted, and we have several friends who they've done foster care and stuff like that. The children's home that we worked at, we dealt with kids that were failed adoptions and just families for whatever couldn't take care of them. So we totally get the need for families to have kids that need a home. So I think that's so awesome.
Well, and the place we're at now is a children's home. The place we're at now is a children's home in Virginia. And that's the thing. And I'll give you a statistic. This is really one of the saddest statistics around. According to a report, I read these when I worked for the children's home. I would always read these reports on different states and the homelessness of children. In the state of Arizona in 2013, there were 54,000 homeless children, and they were ranked like state of Arizona. I think was ranked like 34 out of 50. So that means there are 16 states with worse levels of homelessness for children than Arizona. 54,000 homeless children. We worked for an amazing organization in Mesa that could house up to about 85 kids. And it was just an amazingly loving home for kids. And where we're at now in Virginia, visiting our friend Susan, she's the executive director of a children's home out here called Joy Ranch, which is again the same thing. They take in kids whose parents are either drug addicts, alcoholics, in prison, whatever reason they can't take care of their kids. The kids can be privately placed here. And it is absolutely amazing to see the love and care that these kids get. And it's really sad that places like this have to exist, but it is so amazing that they get to exist. And I would say, Jasmine, while you're in Mesa there, if you get the chance, just off of the 202 and Higley Road, the North 202 and Higley and Mesa, there's a place called Sunshine Acres Children's Home. It is a beautiful, beautiful home for children. It's been there since 1954. It's run by a loving family who's continued for 4 generations now to take care of amazing kids. And they do tours on a regular basis. And if you get a chance to go tour that place, it is absolutely spectacular the way in which they provide for those children. Jasmine, to answer your question, we did work for a children's home. We spent 5.5 years working for Sunshine Acres in Mesa, and we absolutely loved it. I ran the food services, an amazing facility. We were coming through Virginia, and our friend Susan invited us out here. We're doing a little bit of consulting for them on some stuff that they're doing. Mm-hmm. And so we've been able to stop here. We're staying for a couple of weeks, and I'm actually doing some work from their admin office and helping them to kind of plan out some of the equipment and stuff they need for their future growth. So we don't work here, but we are doing some volunteer consulting for them based on my experience at the previous children's home and also my nearly 20 years in and out of restaurants and catering and kitchen work. So we're able to kind of contribute.
7 Degrees. Wow. That's a crazy situation for you to be in with, you adopted the kids that you babysat for. And that's it's awesome that you were able to do that. Like I said, I know I said it before. It breaks my heart that there has to be places for kids who, for whatever reason, aren't wanted, or the parents are not able to take care of them. Makes me so sad to think that we have to have places for them to go to. But I am so thankful that there are people like you guys who really do love on those kids and who really do care about those kids, because without you and without places like Sunshine Acres and Joy Ranch, those kids would be on the street being abused somewhere.
Yeah.
Or they would be dead.
And that's why
that's what really breaks my heart. And it's a bittersweet kind of thing, because it's a need that has to be there, but it really doesn't have to be there. People would step up and help too. So anyway.
Well, that's the amazing thing about getting to travel like this as we RV. And that's, again, it all goes back to the idea of our channel called 18 Summers, is you only get 18 summers to live with your kids and to spend time raising them and that. And so this is really an opportunity for us to show them that there's so much more to this world than the commercialism and the things that are sold to us. If you step outside your box, like we could have avoided coming to another children's home. We could have gone and been at the beach in the Outer Banks right now. But it's so important for our kids to know that life isn't all fun and games, but it's not all work either. It has to be a really nice balance between giving and getting. And the more you give, it really is a lot better life. And so we can stay here for a month and even just give a little bit of ourselves to this. Yes, we'll go out and we get to experience things, and our kids get to experience things. But to spend a month here and really give back and try to help in whatever way we can using our experience, it's amazing, and it's a blessing to be able to do that. And that's one of the benefits to traveling like this, is we get that opportunity. And that's just so cool. So for those of you that's just joining us, or have been, we've been on for 2.5 hours, which is crazy. I can't believe it. Y'all are patient enough to put up with us for that long. But I will tell you this, that I'm Hal, this is Randy. We have 4 kids. We travel full time. And some of you have found us through other channels like Out of Goshen, and we're very glad that you've joined us and that you're coming through. If you haven't commented yet so far, please do say hi so we know who you are, that you're here. We know how many people are watching, but we don't always get to see who they are. So if you wouldn't mind just saying hi, it'd be awesome to know who you are. Along with that, we have a couple things in the pipe, or in the pipes.
He's getting tired now, people.
So we have a couple things in the pipeline coming down. So we have our YouTube channel, which we originally started as a vlog, and it was going to be a travel vlog. And we decided that it was really hard for us to be behind the camera when we were trying to capture more time with our kids personally. So we've stopped kind of doing the vlogging stuff, and our goal really is to be more storytelling. So we're going to start doing more lives to be able to do Q&As and talk about where we are and where we're going. But here's the really cool thing. We shoot videos now of places we go. We really are purposeful. So we spent 2 days in North Carolina filming at a distillery and getting to put together a story of a family that has a 250-year-old distillery. I mean, it was so cool to see the history behind it. With them having letters from President Buchanan and President Polk from their family, sending barrels of whiskey to the White House for the inaugurations. And these are some of the cool things we got to shoot there while we were taking that time. We want to spend more time focusing on putting those stories together than doing these everyday videos. And so we're going to do more of our edited videos will be geared towards that. And we'll do more lives so you can get to know us, and our kids will be involved in future lives. Like I was saying earlier, our daughter Alima is going to be in the next one, which she just found that out tonight. But we're going to be talking about the challenges of being a teenager on the road. And she's working on getting her driver's permit, which in Arizona you can do online, so that when we go back to Arizona in November, she can get her driver's license. Along with that, we have a podcast launching next month. It is the 18 Summers Live Your Passion podcast, where we are interviewing entrepreneurs, business owners, go-getters, and people who are living their passion. And that really is to encourage people to step out, whether it's wanting to make the jump into full-time RVing, whether it's wanting to dedicate your life to a ministry. if it's just opening your own business, whatever it is your passion is, we want to encourage you to do that. So that's what our podcast is based on. We have some great interviews we've done in the last couple of weeks as we're gearing up for the launch. We also have our Instagram feed. We have the Facebook page and our website, which ties everything together at gonein18, GONEIN18.com. And you can go there and see links to all of our stuff. And you will soon see the podcast links there.
The podcast is going to be coming in May.
Yeah, we're going to be launching the podcast in May. It'll be available on iTunes and on Stitcher. And the RSS feed will be available from our website also, with all of our episodes hopefully being posted there. So yeah.
To answer your question, JP, Alima's not going to be driving for a while.
Well, she'll be driving.
She'll be driving.
She'll learn to drive the truck,
but not the trailer with it. Because I don't even get to do that.
Yeah,
and that
detached.
No. Doesn't know. Listen, I'm all for women helping their husbands drive. I totally get that, but I feel like living, and I know that if I drove our truck and our trailer hooked up, somebody would not make it. So yeah, not going to happen.
I'd probably die of a heart attack.
Probably. Yeah. Okay. So 7 Degrees Off Cool, your husband has a gaming channel.
Nice.
And you have some gardening videos. If you want to put in the link of his gaming channel
and your garden videos
and your gardening videos, send us your links or drop them right here, and then we'll put links. We're going to have a long description.
So 7 Degrees Off Cool, I want to ask you, with your gardening videos, and you came over from Out of Goshen, and I know Out of Goshen's focus is they're traveling full time, but their goal is to find the place that they want to homestead. Is that also something along the lines with gardening? Are you looking to homestead? Is that kind of in your plans, or is it just a shared interest? So that's a question for you if you had a chance to respond.
At some point, that's eventually what we want to do. We want to find some land and homestead. I had horses and animals growing up when I was younger. And I told Hal when we got married, I said, when we can afford it, we can get a horse. And we had my horse. And unfortunately, when we decided that we were going to start traveling, we had to find her a new home.
Horses don't RV well. I don't know what it is.
No, you can do it, but it's very tricky and difficult. And we figured between all of us and the kids and the dog, it was going to be a lot. So we decided to find her a new home. She found an amazing family who gives her an opportunity, and she gets used so much more than what I could give her. Anyway, so we plan on having horses again, maybe some cows for meat and some chickens and stuff like that. So I'm excited to do that. I love animals. I love taking care of them, and I love all of that stuff. So I actually didn't cover that. And that's a great question, JP. So when I was growing up, my sister and I watched the Black Stallion, and then my uncle had a horse, and my uncle
keep answering all.
My uncle had a horse, and so he let us go for one ride, and we were bit. We were bit with the horse bug big time. When we were 16, my sister and I got a horse for our birthday instead of a car, and we rode everywhere. We lived out in Buckeye and Tonopah when it was your neighbor was like half a mile away from you. So we literally ran the desert all day long. And when we were in high school, we were in FFA, and I got a cow for show. And so I showed her for a season. She was great. It was so much fun. Did not enjoy bottle feeding in the freezing cold morning, but you do what you got to do. We had about 40 chickens. We had ducks. We had a goat. We did not have a pig, and we did not have sheep, but we had just about everything else. So I was raised around all of that stuff. I got married to my first husband, and he lived in town. So all of that went away for me. I love horses. I have always loved horses. I love riding. I could ride all day long. It was so much fun for me, and it's so relaxing. So yeah, we went to the Gypsy Vanner farm. You got to check that out. If you're in Florida, It is a cost to go see the horses and to take the tour, but it is so worth it. The horses are amazing, and Dennis, the owner, is the sweetest guy ever. I have found with horse people, either they're very giving of their knowledge and their information, or they're not. This man is very giving with all of his knowledge, and he tells it like it is, and he's so sweet and funny. Ani was my horse. She was an Arabian thoroughbred. She was an ex-polo pony. That's her. Oh, you can't see it there. You know, kind of. She was an ex-polo pony. She's if you look at our videos, there's the final video of when she went to her new home and me saying goodbye. Yeah, Future Farmers of America was really cool. We just did whatever. We didn't know, like, knowing now what I know about horses. We did some crazy stuff that I look at it and I'm like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. That was not a good idea. Definitely. Yeah. I'm not afraid. I've definitely learned I don't like the guts and the gore, but you know what? Sometimes you do what you got to do and you just got to make it happen. I love my horses. That's one thing that I really miss. Alima has gotten bit by the horse bug. She was blessed with an opportunity to ride my horse when we had her. She had the opportunity to ride the horses at the children's home that we worked at. She has got a gift. The girl I don't know if it's just her age or whatever, but the girl has got a gift and she has no fear. And with horses, it's good to have a little bit of a healthy fear, but because they feed on what you feel, it's good that she's not got a fear of them. Yeah, I am so excited I am so excited to get back on. Sorry.
When we do get to homesteading, it's definitely part of our part of our plan to have horses and do all that again. And it may be sooner than later. You never know. I mean, we make plans, but who knows? But our goal is 4 years on the road, and then we're going to settle down. And I think that puts us still at a young enough point in our life that we can really do that and set up a good farm with our kids and enjoy that. So, and you're right, JP, she is a farm girl. It's funny because I grew up on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was born in Los Angeles and lived in a suburb of LA called Fontana, and then wound up in Chandler, which originally Chandler, when we moved there, was a lot of cotton fields, but it very quickly developed and closed in with industry and businesses. So,
and Jasmine, to answer your question, that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing. We want to experience the United States with our kids. We want to take them outside of their little bubble that they might normally have, and most kids have. We've learned very quickly that most kids, they stay in their little bubble of their town, of where they live, and very few move out of that, and very few of them see things that are away from that for long periods of time. We wanted our kids to understand this world is a great big place. This world has a lot to offer them. You do not have to stay stuck in your tiny little bubble. I encourage my kids all the time, move out of your bubble, live somewhere else. You now can see that there is so much more to this life than this tiny little place. Please find where your heart is at and where you want to be, and be there. If that's what makes you happy, then do it. I am learning. I'm a small girl. I'm a small town girl at heart. I still love the country. I still love I still love it. I see Alima and I joke all the time when we're driving down the road, because we're in Virginia. There's
so annoying.
There's hills and pastures everywhere, and we're like, hey, you want to go
ride for a ride? You want to go ride? On what? On what? A wooden horse? Let's go get the mop and pretend.
We could do that. That's okay.
So obnoxious.
I'm okay with that. You're hilarious.
It's so annoying.
But we really do. I'm a small town girl at heart, and I really love it. I love the community. I love the woods. I love the trees. I love the grass and the streams and the rivers and all of that. So we'll probably settle down somewhere like that. Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yes, definitely a concrete jungle. And I will
Yeah,
tell you though that
yeah.
it's funny because Randy grew up in small town. I am really drawn to small town. I am not a big city fan. I enjoy my boots and my jeans and I don't know. There are certain things about the life that I enjoy and certain things I don't. I wrestle with it because I'm a bit of a germaphobe, so that's a struggle for me. But there are certain things that I've been able to get past and let go. Having the horse around really helped out a lot.
Because they're dirty.
Well, and when so just so you know, I bought when we bought the horse, I bought that for Randy as an anniversary gift for our 15th anniversary. And we had it for about a month and a half, 2 months before she even got it. Like the day I bought it, she didn't know we had it because I bought it a month and a half or so before anniversary. And so I took care of the horse. And I had I had help from my friend Ashley who would come out with me and help with the horse. But I spent the first 6 weeks out with the horse, exercising it, cleaning it, and taking care of it. And we were boarding her a couple, I don't know, a good 10 miles from the house. So I was going out there and working with her. And, there were certain things that I had to, kind of move beyond. And even with the RVing, I mean, there's certain aspects to it that as a germaphobe, I kind of go, oh, like dumping black tanks. Not a big fan of it, but it's got to get done. And when we close up to move from spot to spot, I'm the one that handles those hoses and deals with that. Granted, I have gloves and there's certain protections, but it's still, as a germaphobe, that's still tough for me. But I really love the small town country feel. Like I want to be, ideally for me.
So 7 degrees, this is where your husband is like my husband. And I like being close enough to big city that if there's something that I need, I can get to it. But I still like being away enough that I can let my dog run and I know nothing's going to happen to it. And it's going to have fun.
I think we'd like to be on about 30 or 40 acres with a house towards the middle of the property. So we have plenty of space all the way around us. And yes, I'd like to be within an hour or an hour and a half of a city where I can, get some decent price on groceries or be able to run in town and get some, some stuff without, having to make a whole day of it. But at the same time, I really enjoy the distance. I enjoy the
JP, you're absolutely
the
right.
ruralness of it.
You're absolutely right. Dumping the black and gray water is just a minute fact. It's, I look at it like this. There's things in your big house and your sticks and bricks that you don't really want to do, but it needs to get done. So you're going to suck it up and you're going to do it. It's the same thing with the black water and the gray water. It's something that needs to be done. So you suck it up and you do it.
Yep.
It's just the way that it works. Once we have a house, yes, we will have a whole new appreciation for septic tanks. I'm used to mucking stalls. I'm okay with cleaning up cow manure. I'm used to all that stuff. That stuff doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that. It's when they get hurt. It's when you have an open bleeding gashing wound or something like that that I'm like, we need a vet.
What is gashing?
A giant gash that's gushing blood. That's gashing. It's a scientific term. Haven't you ever heard of it?
Nope. Yes, I will. Let me say something. So it's funny you say septic because I grew up in Chandler in LA. In LA, we had septic. In Chandler, we had direct sewage.
Yeah, Hal's expressions are amazing. Yeah, they are.
We had direct sewer, so we never had to deal with septic in Chandler, which was so nice because I remember growing up in LA, we were in Fontana, and one time our septic tank had to be pumped. And that was a smell that no person should ever have to experience.
I'm not excited for
like
that smell.
I imagine like back in biblical times where they talk about the cliff that everybody dumped their trash off of, and it was kind of near the area where the lepers hung out and the stench. That's what I picture septic tanks, equate to.
So now you make me think of London and Europe before they had
the 1700s
when they just dumped their pots right out the window. Yeah. Oh, that's so gross. Now I know why they got the plague. Yeah. Oh,
so
disgusting.
And then in Chandler we had sewer. It was direct line sewer, so you never had that issue, and that was wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I guess the tanks on the RVs really aren't that bad. And I guess to go back to the RVing thing, this is one thing that I kind of realized as we started traveling that I didn't want to do. There are a lot of YouTube channels out there that talk about their daily travels, and none of it's really any different. And we didn't want to be just like everybody else out there. Everybody's experiences are a bit different, but we didn't want to be that typical RV channel that was like, oh, this is how we dump our black and gray tanks, because really it's not any different than anybody else. And not to knock that, we're not knocking that. It's just some people like that and some people don't.
Yeah.
That's just not our thing. Plus, I don't want to look at it. I'm not going to show it to you guys. Like, I'm not going to be like, all right, guys, now we're going to pull this. Look at this clear window where you can see everything flow. Oh, no.
No, England did not have good plumbing. That's why they were always sick. It's funny because most people that lived in Europe in about the Middle East, Middle Ages and stuff like that, the Renaissance period, they only lived till they were about 30.
Yeah, mid-30s, late 30s.
That's why they married super young. And that's why most people didn't. That's why I think now we get that, when you're over 40, you're old. And I really think that's what it is because most people didn't live that long.
Yeah, there was no. Think about that. It was all water pots,
and there was no hygiene.
There was no sewer lines, no nothing.
There was no regular bathing. There was no anything. When you see little lap dogs like Lhasa Apsos and things like that, those little dogs, the nobility carried those around because they would attract the fleas and the ticks off of the people. And they would go then onto the dog. That's why they carried those dogs. That's why they had lap dogs. The other
new
thing,
to me. That's news to me.
The other thing, the reason why they carried handkerchiefs was because
they covered them in perfume.
They were covered and drenched in perfume because the people smelled so bad from their sweating clothes that they would hold it up to their nose. And of course, then you would smell the scent from the handkerchief and not everyone else's odor. Yeah. Isn't that lovely? And they also didn't wash their clothes every day or very often. Sorry, this is a history lesson.
This has gotten really gross.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. 7 degrees. You are not subdivision people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why they were trying to hold their breath. And yeah, that's probably why they
half acre in a subdivision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Actually, half acre is not bad. I mean, the house I grew up in, the subdivision I was in, I don't even think they were quarter acre lots. Like I don't even think they were close to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, half acre is definitely much smaller than most people want to go if you're looking to have farming and homestead for sure.
Yeah.
We're not.
I'm not
a subdivision
homestead
person.
Yeah, you can homestead on smaller acreage, but so in my opinion, ideal acreage.
Half acre, so small.
I know it's tiny. My ideal acreage is at least 1.5 to 2. If you're looking for,
JP, that's hilarious.
What?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Right. You're right. Troy, you're hilarious.
Well, it's true though.
Yeah, they never showered.
Yeah, vitamin D gets washed off when you shower.
Yeah. So think about this. That's another reason why they probably didn't shower is because they didn't have hot water readily available.
We have so jumped the shark tonight.
I know, it's crazy. The only reason they had hot water was because they would boil it. Well, the water that they got was from a stream or a river or something like that. So it was freezing ass cold.
Hey,
sorry.
Again, this is a family-friendly channel.
Sorry. It is freezing cold. And who wants to take a bath in that? Not this girl.
So 7 Degrees just said that they, a super rural town had a coyote in the front yard the other day. Okay, so
coyotes are ridiculous.
So in Mesa, where we moved from, is one of the larger cities in Arizona, especially square footage size. It's one of the biggest, or square mileage size, one of the largest cities. But Phoenix is like the 5th largest city in the country. And it's funny because the way it's grown out there in the desert, coyotes and javelina run wild around that area. The other thing that runs wild that people don't realize about in Arizona is mountain lions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's Detroit saying we have coyotes too. He's in Mesa, and it's absolutely funky
Jasmine,
and crazy.
You're totally fine. We get it.
But that's the that's such a crazy thing. Where did that go? Okay, so
Yeah.
7 degrees. So yeah, 7 degrees. That always freaks me out when I see like wild animals in the front, especially coyotes and stuff, because they're scavengers. And man, a 3-year-old looks like a bite-sized treat to them.
Yeah.
So it's always a nerve-wracking when you've got coyotes hanging around.
I was
So-
I was watching I was on a Facebook group the other day, and they were talking about how someone had posted a post about people have to watch out for their small dogs because a hawk will carry off their small dogs, and somebody was making fun of it and how ridiculous it was, but the truth is it happens all the time in Arizona. Anywhere there's large birds of prey,
Yep.
coyotes, any of that kind of stuff, that's no joke. They were laughing because the post had talked about animals as much that weigh as much as 60 pounds. A large bird of prey can take down something that big. May not do it very well, but it can cause a significant enough damage that you're going to have issues. So I was like, why are you laughing at this? This is a serious thing. Those people must have been city people, and that's why they were laughing at it.
Yeah, they don't get it.
They don't get it.
But
coyotes consistently in Arizona every year, you're hearing about small dogs, cats, any size dog, really.
In Australia, the dingoes take the babies. Sorry. So bad. Bad, Hal. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The mountain lions are the thing that freaks me out.
They're aggressive.
The mountain lions freak me out. Coyotes, for the most part, will run away. If they are sick, then they will not run away. But for the most part, if you are seen as aggressive enough, they will not hurt you. They will not do anything to you. But if you're small like a child or a dog or a cat, you're going to get eaten.
That's why it's good that I look like a bear.
Yeah. The bear. Yeah. We call him the werebear. So the bears freak me out a little bit.
Shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah, no, there's shrimps on their Barbies. Yeah, the bears kind of freak me out. When we were in California, we ran into some black bears, and for the most part, they were afraid of us. We were in our trailer, and they were
of me.
They were rummaging around in the trash, literally less than 10 feet away from our trailer. And I just opened the window, started screaming at them, and they took off. They're giant babies. But then you always get that one bear that's not a jerk. I mean, is not afraid. And it could cause problems. And if you're a small person, yeah, you could have issues.
I usually have the same reaction when she starts screaming at me. I run away.
Yeah, beekeeping is very interesting. I have thought about doing that. Hal is deathly terrified of bees. The boys are deathly terrified of bees and wasps. So you can raise bees for me, and we'll trade meats.
I've been stung one time in my life, and I intend to keep it at 1.
Oh my gosh! Wait a second. 7 degrees off cool. You watched a hawk try to pick up a baby goat. Holy cow! That's scary.
So,
that's freaky.
Speaking of that, my former boss actually had a small dog who got picked up by, I don't know if it was a hawk or an owl. And
the RV beehive.
And taken away.
No, you can't, Troy. You can't do the RV beehive. That's not going to work. You're hilarious.
I've seen bees make hives in RVs.
Yes, that's happened, but no.
But it's not the good kind.
No,
not the ones you want.
That just freaks me out. Yes, and JP, there are laws in the United States that you have to be zoned to have livestock and animals, bees, farm animals and bees and stuff like that. You do have to be in the right zoning. If you are not, then you're not.
And it depends on it's by state level. I'd be interested to know what it's like, the difference, because Canada I know has provinces, and I don't know, are the provinces like our states, or are they like, I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard for me to understand how the Canadian provinces work, but I'm very interested in hearing more about your beekeeping. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I've heard a lot of beneficial things about beekeeping.
Oh, good pun on that. Stung by the beekeeping bug.
Yeah, you're hilarious. That's cute.
Well done, JP. Well done.
That's awesome. I am kind of
interested.
Just
click?
I did. I'm sorry, JP.
That's the horse girl in there.
That's what you get. Sorry. You're gonna get that. I think that's really super cool. I never thought about beekeeping. I've done a little bit of research on it. I'm more interested in raising a beef cow and chickens for meat and eggs. Maybe we could swap meat. Maybe you could swap your honey and I'll swap you some meat. I don't know. We'll work it out somehow.
When we were in Florida, there was a family that had bees. I don't know. I don't know, man. I have a hard time with that. I don't like things that I can't train.
I like the idea of having the bees, but I have no idea how to take care of them. Yes, they're JP.
See, our dog just balked at the idea of having bees.
Yeah, Molan's like, yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Molan chases flies.
He eats them.
Our German Shepherd,
yes.
if there's a fly or a bug in the house, he will tear our house apart trying to find
it. Molan.
Which is really a little disturbing at times. He'll run you over to do it, but yeah, I don't know how well he would do in a bee farm.
He would try to eat them because he's seen we've seen carpenter bees here.
Oh yeah,
and he wants to try to eat them.
Those big fatties.
So yeah, no, bees and our dog is not going to go well. You've thought about bees on a small farm. Yeah, I know that you can do bees on a small farm. I just don't know exactly how it was.
I don't know that I want to. I don't know. I think it's really cool that people do because I love local honey.
Yes, Troy, local
just
honey
not
is
me.
Yeah, local honey is amazing. So wait, it's important to find local honey from local bee farms that do not move their hives. Wait, why would you have to move them out of state?
Well, if they transfer from state to state, like if they're buying hives from out of state,
there's no way for you to train the bees. Oh my gosh, JP, that's hilarious.
I don't know. I could probably invent a bee leash.
I don't mind bartering. I'm good with that. We can work something out.
You better believe it.
Oh, that was bad. That was
bad. Bees took a huge hit. Yes.
Yeah, and that's why I support local. I support people with their honey bees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see more people doing it. It's just not me.
Yeah, Alima, our dog has gone after bees and he's tried to eat them, and he's not the brightest bulb. I told you that. He's just not the brightest bulb.
He's a great dog.
If you need a dog that has a high prey drive and loves to run, that is our dog. Our dog has like the highest prey drive of any dog that I have ever seen.
Which is not good.
No. And that he is so stinking fast. Like my sister had a greyhound, and I'm sure he would have wiped that dog out like if there was a race, he'd be a winner every time. He's so stinking fast.
He probably would have eaten the greyhound.
Maybe. Some keepers travel to California to pollinate the field. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, because it gets too hot, so they have to move, and some of them travel to California to pollinate the fields out there. Okay.
All I know is this. I don't like being stung. I don't like being bit. And if I can avoid it, I will. So that's not, the bee thing is just not for me.
Yeah, like I said, I am all for people having honeybees and doing all that because I've heard that. I've heard that they have had a major hit in the last couple of years. Then they feed them corn syrup that's genetic. Yeah, that whole genetically modified thing, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
That's the GMO stuff is
we try to avoid as much as possible.
Yeah, it's something that has been
let me just connect that. Let me just connect that to another story. Old Nick Williams Distillery that we were at.
JP, you're hilarious.
One of the great things about them is they're planning on growing their own grain and corn and everything. But they're waiting until there's some fields that they have that they've been leased that are using GMO stuff that they don't use. So they're actually getting all their stuff non-GMO and using it for their whiskey. So just so you know, GMO-free whiskey, Old Nick Williams Distillery and Farm.
And you know what, Troy, is funny about you mentioning Tyler Farms, because they also have a boarding facility there, and we were going to board my horse there. So we met Mr. Tyler. He's a very great guy. They have their own bees, and they also have their own beef that they raise, and that I believe they sell the meat for that.
Yeah, they sell meat there too.
Tyler Farms is amazing. Tyler Farms is off the 202, and it's just down the road from Sunshine Acres.
yeah,
It's not far.
202 in Val Vista.
Yeah.
202 in Val Vista. Scott Tyler out there. Amazing guy. Scott Tyler's
nice
a
guy.
great guy.
Yeah.
Good facility.
Troy, I didn't know that's what they fed the bees corn syrup, and that it's genetically modified instead of pollen from local trees. I had no idea. That's gross.
That is gross. They should.
You're absolutely right, Jasmine. That is really gross. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Yeah. And it makes me nervous because it makes me wonder at some point we may not be able to tell what's genetically modified and what's not. I know
it's all going to be Soylent Green.
Yeah, I've had friends who've gone to France and they've had gluten problems here, but when they went over there, they could eat the bread and stuff because France does not allow GMOs. I think that's most of Europe does not allow GMOs. I'm not 100% factual on the GMO part of that, but I do know that they haven't had.
This is the disclaimer portion of our show in which we say Randy's not sure about what she's talking about, but she's going to say it anyways.
I do know. Listen, this is what I know. People who have gone over from the U.S. to Europe, specifically France, have not had issues with gluten because France does not allow genetically modified corn and wheat.
But gluten and GMOs are different.
I'm going to shut up now.
But they do have it's the GMO stuff.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Which movie are we talking about here?
There's a documentary called Rotten.
I love documentaries.
It's called Rotten.
I love them.
And it has an episode on honey. Scott and Tim Tyler also raise organic beef eggs. Yep. See, yes. Thank you, Troy. That was very helpful.
I love them. They are good people too.
Yes.
I have not met Tim, but I've met Scott multiple times. That dude's stand up. He is awesome.
He was really super nice. Their horse facility is amazing. Yep. Like, amazing. They have a ton of arenas. Their paddocks are grass, and the price that you would pay, you get what you're paying for. And they really are an amazing, amazing facility. Yeah, I had no idea that the honey. Well, I did know that there are some there's
really
some
honey from rice.
I have no idea about that.
Wow,
that's crazy.
That's horrible.
Yeah, there are some honeys that claim to be honey, and it's just corn syrup.
Oh, honey.
I know. JP is lactose intolerant, and he was in Paris last December. And had a lot of croissants and was okay. No stomach issues whatsoever. Huh. I guess their milk is better than Canadian milk. Oh my gosh.
I agree, Troy.
We need to demand
and here's something a lot of people don't realize too. Just to talk about eggs, when you go into the store and you see eggs and they have grades on them. So it was interesting in Florida, all the eggs in Florida, of all the times I went shopping, I never saw grade AA eggs, which is something in Arizona you see all the time. They have AA, A, and B.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you're not familiar with what the rankings are, those ratings are based on how fresh the eggs are from the time that they are produced by the chickens till they're sold in the stores. And based on that timeline, they box them and label them AA, or B. B is not supposed to be used for human consumption.
Yes, Jasmine, I agree with you.
AA and A are the ones that are for human consumption. And what's interesting is in Florida, there were no AA eggs because they didn't have any fresh chicken farms close enough to get AA eggs. In Arizona, a lot of people don't realize this. There's a ton of chicken farms. So egg producers are plentiful in Arizona.
Hickman's?
So you can get AA eggs.
Hickman's is a big farm out in Arizona.
But again, when you're dealing with those big farms, you're not talking about free range chickens that are,
right,
out roaming around. You're talking about mass produced chickens that are all in big boxes and all that. So
thanks, 7 Degrees. We're going to have to
I'm going to look that up. I love documentaries. I'm very
curious about that.
But so that's the thing about eggs is you got to watch. And that's why like Synergy Farms in Gilbert, that sells at the Gilbert Farmers Market. I love it because all of their chickens are free roaming chickens. They pick and everything during the week and bring out. I mean, it's just super, super fresh. And you don't have to refrigerate eggs that aren't washed. And that's the reason in the US, you always find eggs in refrigerated sections in the stores, because when they're washed, it rinses away the protective film on the egg. And once that's washed away, the eggs start to go quicker. So they have to be refrigerated to maintain them. If you are on a farm and you have your own chickens and then you don't have to just throw the eggs in the fridge. You can leave them out on the table or the counter. As long as you've not washed them, you're not rinsing the film off them that protects them. And that's a big deal, because when you go to the store, that's why you have to refrigerate everything.
So then how would they get like the poop and stuff off of the eggs?
They wipe them off.
Is that why they rinse
No,
them?
you just wipe them off. But see, that when you look at this,
you get them from the store.
So the way that the stores, when they come out of the factories, basically, they are cleaned in a way that strips it. And that's what does it. When you have farm fresh eggs, you can wipe them down and clean that stuff off. But it's very different. You wash it before you use it. You still wipe them off, but you wash them before you use them versus, that. So it's just kind of one of those things that just drives me nuts about American food. And having been in restaurants and kitchens for 20 years, it just is so frustrating to see the way that the U.S. produces and uses foods, and the produce coming out of South America. There's no controls. There's no way to guarantee what you're getting, and that's scary. And as an RVer, it makes it tough because you don't have that routine source you can always go to.
7 Degrees. It's really interesting that you talk about raw milk, because when I was growing up in Tonopah, we lived across the street from a lady who had a Angus cow, and she would give us those big, huge pickle jars, those giant ones. She would fill that up with raw milk and cream from her cow. And she would give us a couple of those a week, because she was just having so much milk that she didn't want to just dump it out. So, that was the best milk that I have ever had. I mean, it was fresh from the source. It was amazing. It was so good. And then we had another neighbor who, he butchered their bull. They had a bull and they butchered it. Those were the best ribs I have ever had. That's part of the whole reason why I want to go to growing our own livestock and things like that for food, is because I like to know where it's coming from. I like to know what it's eating, and it tastes so much better. It's just so, so good because of what you're feeding it. And I think it's really sad that now we have animals that are fed just crap. They're not fed anything good. They're not fed what they're supposed to be fed. And then they're pumped with all kinds of just junk, like their shots, their injections, and all of that stuff, just because they don't let them range and eat free like they're supposed to in a field. They don't let them do things like they're naturally supposed to do. And when you have so many animals in a small confined space, you are going to have way more infection and disease and sicknesses than you would if you rotated your livestock, rotated your fields, and you let them free range and let them be animals. Yeah. What is going on?
So 7 Degrees, you're absolutely right. The standard American diet is a mess.
Yes,
that's one of the reasons
it's a disaster.
We want.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons we're big advocates of growing your own. And that's why we love True Garden in Mesa. JP, you're hilarious.
JP, I love it. That's so funny.
That is hilarious.
I understand that to some degree we need to give our animals vaccinations. We do need to give our animals antibiotics if what you've tried to do naturally is not working. But because the animals are so confined in tiny, tiny spaces so that we can get mass quantities of food, their health suffers. And because their health suffers, then our health suffers. And it's this ugly cycle. Whereas if you would just let them be, do what they need to do as animals, and put them in a field like God has intended them to do, they would be totally fine. You would have that rare individual who decided to be stupid and get sick. But that's not the normal. That's the rare. When I think about you know, the way that chickens are bred and the way that chickens are treated and the way that they are handled in the factories, and I'm going to call it factories because it's not a farm, it's a factory. It makes me so sad. It breaks my heart because I know that there is another alternative. There is a different way. But because the industry, the food industry has decided that we need to have all of this excess food, they are now creating this sad epidemic of animals that are mistreated and abused. So that's it breaks my heart. It just makes me so sad.
So we use almond milk too at times. We kind of balance between the two, but
yeah.
I grew up on 2% and 1% milk, which I really enjoy, and we use heavy cream for making delicious homemade whipped cream.
Oh my gosh.
Delicious homemade whipped cream, which is
terrible
because it's laden with sugar. But
and sugar's bad for you.
It is, but
it tastes so good.
But it's like, you know, you kind of make those balances. Like she drinks that terrible coffee creamer, like the flavored stuff.
I do.
I just can't. You know, I used to, but I just knowing what's in it now, I just can't.
I know what's in it. I know it's bad for you, and I'm okay with that. And I know that all of the stuff that I just said may just be discounted because I drink this crappy creamer, but it's still good. So sorry.
We're gonna go back to this again. So, but you know, I use half and half, and you know, there's certain things I don't mind almond milk in. We do those vegan, the vegan complete shakes from Juice Plus, and I'll use almond milk in that when it's flavored with other things. But I can't drink almond milk straight. I've tried. I just can't get past that flavor.
So, JP, to answer your question, I don't know if there's a way that we can set an alert so that you can know in advance when you're live or when we're live. I wish there was.
I'm going to look into that because I've seen people do it. I just don't know how. What we did was we went to start it and we waited about 45 minutes. We put out a thing on Facebook saying we were going to go live. And I think we need to do a little bit more development into this. And what it might just simply be is putting up a live video, just a short one that's, you know, like, hey guys, we're going to go live at this time, whatever. And that way people get an alert that we were live. They can look at that video and go, oh, they're going to be live in 3 hours, or they're going to go live next Wednesday. We are going to try for a consistent Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live, yes. Oh, not
because I guarantee you this will be better than the show on TV.
Oh, dang.
But I think we're going to try and go live on Saturday nights and kind of see how that works. And I think 10 o'clock Eastern time works out pretty well for us because then our little guys are in bed. And then it's still, you know, it's late enough on the West Coast where it's after people are kind of getting back home.
And Hal would be perfect for that. I keep telling him he needs to be a comedian because he's really super funny.
I don't see it.
He doesn't listen to me though.
No. But
SNL with 18 Summers. I love it, JP. That's awesome.
I guarantee it'd be better than SNL pretty much died after like, you know, Belushi and all them were off of it. It all turned up anyway. So this will be a lot better. And we can park our trailer down by the river. So, and a trailer down by the river. But we'll try and plan that out. So just count on, we're going to put an alarm in our phone reminding us every Saturday. But I think we're going to try and really, we want 18 Summers to grow as a brand. We want 18 Summers to grow as a media company, really doing more of our sharing. It's so funny because
no, JP, our kids just sleep like rocks. It's really all it is. Once they're asleep, they're like dead to the world. So we had a train. We were at one park in Florida, and literally the train was like 20 feet away from our trailer, maybe a little bit more than that.
About 150.
Okay, so it was still close. And it would come by about every single hour on the hour, day and night. And these kids never heard it. Never.
I never slept.
He never slept.
because I heard every time
Every
that
time.
stupid thing.
Yeah, no, there's no soundproofing anything in the RV.
No, it just happens to be that they're rock solid
they
sleepers.
sleep like rocks.
Yeah, I actually can record podcasts at night if I wanted to, or I could do some of the editing because they do sleep pretty well.
Yeah.
We're just being really bad parents tonight. And Halima and Halim are over on our bed watching TV right now.
JP, yes.
So
the kids do not stop. Those little boys, literally, the only times they stop is when they have to go to the bathroom and eat.
Nice. So 55. We're on 7 Degrees is watching us on their TV right now.
Oh my gosh, that's
which means
awesome.
you're seeing this in all of its glory.
And I did not do my
life
makeup
size.
today. Did not do my
Close
makeup.
up.
Oh my gosh, you're terrible. This is the SNL part, right, JP?
That's right.
Is that what this is what you're looking for? Huh?
So, oh my goodness. So yeah,
Is
we're
it high definition too?
is it high def?
Wait, how's my eyebrows?
That's right. You know what's funny is I was doing an interview on our podcast last week, and I was using this laptop here to do it, and I only record the audio. I don't record the video because it just takes so much bandwidth now. But we were still chatting over Skype video, and there was an older friend of mine I've known for a while. And you know, the first thing he said to me when we got on video wasn't even hello.
Is he talking to you?
So
wait, 7 Degrees. What's your husband's name?
so so we got into this podcast and we kick on Skype, and the very first thing he says to me, and we haven't talked in a long time, and the first thing he does is look at me and go, "Wow." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "I've got a big monitor here and I can see all the gray in your beard."
Who said that?
I don't want to call him out. I'm not going to call him out. I'm not going to call him out in public. He knows who he was. Careful. He'll see this video.
Troy, put down the cake. Troy, you cannot have the cake. Stop it.
About cake. Who's what?
I don't know, Troy. I'm just trying to be funny. Al doesn't get it. It's okay.
Well, how do you know he has cake?
I'm just making crap up. I'm trying to be funny. You're killing it here, Hal. She said her husband kept in. Her husband kept in and walked in and said, "Is he talking to you?"
So, all right.
Sorry.
So,
This,
but no,
this is why Randy would not be on the 18 Summers SNL.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys.
Sorry.
But anyway, so the first thing he said to me was, "Oh, I can see all the gray in your beard." I thought, how? I don't know. High def bothers me now. High def bothers me.
Do you see the gray like all over here? And
no, that's why I'm in the shadows.
oh my gosh.
I'm
There's always cake. See, look.
There's always cake. Don't encourage her.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm gonna? All right, this is gonna be our next goal. We're gonna plan a live from the truck.
7 Degrees. I'm the fat kid too, but it's hilarious anyway.
We're gonna plan a live from our truck. We travel with Wi-Fi in the truck.
I want cake. Cake is good.
We're gonna have to figure this out because our truck drive is very different than everything else. There is carpool karaoke in our truck.
Oh, you guys have got to hear that. Holy crap. That is like the best.
So there is.
And it's not me. It's really him. He's hilarious.
I actually do. I won't let them record it, but I might.
Cake wrapped in bacon is amazing.
Oh my God.
JP, you have maple syrup. Maple syrup bacon cake is amazing. That's going to be tasty. Go. No, not turkey bacon. Not the same. Sorry, Jasmine. Okay, go ahead, Hal.
Wow. No, you're fine. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, his carpool karaoke is hilarious.
We're gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna find a way to live stream our next when we leave Woodlawn and we head north to, I don't know, wherever it is we're going after Woodlawn. I am going to find a way to live stream our road trip. And that ought to be a lot of fun because you'll get to see me in all my glory. I have to keep myself awake. I don't do well driving.
This would be hilarious.
So we're going to find a way to make this happen. We are going to find a way.
7
There is a
degrees.
whole chocolate bacon cake conversation going on right now.
You're welcome.
Turkey
Yeah,
bacon.
the chocolate covered bacon sounds tasty.
Dude,
did
I'm so
you
hungry
know-
now. This is not
Do
cool.
you know what they have? They have maple bacon flavored donuts.
Yeah, bacon maple bars.
No,
Maple bacon
it's a
bars.
round donut that has maple frosting and then bacon bits on it, and there's even one that
It's
has
the
bacon
same
bits
thing.
inside.
It's the same.
Yep, they do. They sell them that sounds so
Chocolate
good.
covered bacon okay. Chocolate covered bacon. I don't know if I could do that. I'm all
No.
about chocolate covered coffee beans.
Soft taco. This has gone so terribly wrong. I don't know what happened.
This hashtag soft taco is not going to live.
I
It's
love
not going to
love
die
it.
out, is it?
I love it. I love it.
That's too funny.
The hashtag hot soft taco. We got to somehow make that a thing. That's hilarious. I love it.
Hey, let me ask this: 7 degrees in high def. How are the bags under my eyes?
Oh, jeez.
Is it hashtag soft taco is speechless?
Oh my gosh, you guys, this has been so much fun. This is like, we've only done this twice, but this has been so much fun. I'm loving this. So y'all need to figure out the carpool karaoke songs you want Hal to sing, because he's gonna do that, not me.
This isn't an on demand.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yep.
I'm really liking this pop screen. This thing is handy.
Oh, the faces are so much better in HD. Oh my gosh. Okay, 7 degrees. We got to figure out where y'all are at so we can meet up.
7
This
degrees is in
hilarious.
7 degrees. You're in North Carolina, right?
Oh my gosh.
In the Appalachian Mountains. Because Jasmine's in Mesa, JP's in
Yeah.
Canada,
Hey Jasmine,
and
are you
7
gonna
degrees
be
in
Jasmine? Are you gonna be in Mesa in
November.
November?
It's a long ways out, Randy. You
That's
can't
a-
expect people to live their life around us.
Yes, we can.
Oh, she's in Tennessee. All right. We're not going that way yet.
You just killed my dream. You just broke my
Sorry.
little heart. Do you see it there on the floor?
How close are you to the tail of the dragon in North Carolina? I know it's like kind of right across the mountain there.
I'm in the from a
All the cold winds.
oh
That's so funny.
my
That
god.
is so funny. Possibly, Jasmine says possibly.
Okay, so we're
Well,
gonna
then we possibly might run into you.
you know what would be fun?
7 degrees off. Cole says, boo, Cole.
Hey, Jasmine, this is really fun.
You should
We
RV.
We could do this together.
I'll tell you what, get your RV and get ready. And when we head out in November, you can travel with us and kind of get used to it, get the routine.
And then have
'cause-
this crazy
Right?
all the time.
Live in
all
person.
the time.
But then you can do California with us because when we go back to Arizona, then we're heading to Southern California, and then we're going to work our way up the West Coast,
Hmm.
which is an amazing place. And we've been there before, so we feel a little bit more comfortable like venturing out
Yeah.
because we've done that so much. So
Yeah.
just a thought.
Yeah. You're in the
Okay,
middle
close
of
to
Tennessee.
the Alabama line. Okay.
I don't know when we're gonna be over that way.
It'll be after the West Coast run.
So that'll be like next year. Unless you're traveling.
Like a year and a half, 2 years from now.
Unless you're traveling.
Well, they're not the ones that are traveling.
They can be.
You could be. Just
Could
saying.
be.
Just saying.
Oh my gosh.
But we do want to make it over to Tennessee because
Yeah.
there's whiskey in Tennessee. Not that I'm advocating the consumption of alcohol in, frivolous amounts. I'm just saying.
Frivolous amounts.
I'm just saying
What?
that there's
What do you
whiskey
say?
there.
Yeah. Is that for educational purposes?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing this for?
Research and
Educational
development.
purposes? What is research and development?
Yes.
Oh my good Lord. 7 degrees.
Consumer
7 degrees, we would be in big
consumer
trouble.
testing.
You think he talks a lot now? You wait till he's drunk. It's worse.
I don't. Okay, wait a minute here. Let's put something out in the clear. I don't get drunk. That was terrible to say.
I'm sorry.
You're putting out there false images of me.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
This is terrible. I'm going to get a bad reputation for something I didn't even do.
I'm just saying.
That's like accusing me of beating a dog. I've never done it.
He's never done it.
But if somebody says it, then it's happened. So whatever.
Unless you.
What is this?
That's. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
See how it is, JP. I'm beginning to understand how this is going to work now.
Soft taco, right there.
Hashtag soft taco. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
That's awesome. I love it. Thank you, JP. That's hilarious.
That's going to stick too.
Yeah, it will. Hey, Facebook friends.
How do you block a person? I don't know.
No, JP, I
Just
will not
kidding,
let that
JP.
happen.
Just kidding.
That will not happen.
Hashtag not kidding.
He is kidding because I will not let that happen.
All right. Listen, we're hitting 3.5 hours. And as much as I'd like to do this some more, it is like 1:30 here.
Yeah, friends.
And we really should be responsible parents and put our older kids to bed.
No. I see some shirts and hats with that.
That's going to be, so this is what we're going to do.
Oh,
we're going to get you a special hat that's like this. It's going to say 18 summers on the back. And on the front and then on the back, we're going to do hashtag soft taco.
Oh my gosh, JP, you're hilarious. I love it. That's a plan.
I do love me some Mexican food, though.
It doesn't love him, but he loves it. Sorry.
What is?
I'm sorry. He's getting one. He's going to get a soft taco hat.
We're gonna make one for you.
I'm sorry, people. I just get too personal. I'm sorry.
So glad there's only 3 people watching this right now.
There's not. It's 5.
No, there's
5.
Who's the? Well, that's one of them right here. This monitor is number 1.
Oh, there's 4 then. It's okay.
4. Who's the 4th?
It's a mystery.
We have a silent stalker going on right now because there's 5 people watching and I only know 4 of you.
It's a mystery. You should make yourself known, please.
That's right. Come on, speak up.
It's Mark.
Thanks for oversharing. Great. JP, please don't encourage her.
Well, if you really want to know.
Please don't encourage her. We have a fairly public life. It doesn't need to be that public.
I am sorry if this makes some people offended, but that's my husband and who he is. I can't help it.
Wow. JP, Jasmine, I don't know. Is Troy might not be here anymore. Troy's got a busy week ahead of him. If he's not in bed right now, he should be. Troy, this is me and you right now. We're
Soft Taco's putting his foot down.
Troy, I'm talking to you right now. If you're here, you really should be resting. You have a long week with that Juice Plus conference. I'm not trying to tell you to live your life. I'm saying, dude, seriously. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't think Troy's here right now. Troy's actually a really good friend of mine. And I'm pretty sure right now he's ditched out. And,
oh my gosh, you guys have been amazing. Can I just tell you that y'all have been so much fun?
This and you know what this is
doing a hard time.
I mean, it's going to be one of our segments: heart to heart with soft taco, heart to heart with hashtag soft taco.
It's a church lady heart to soft taco.
Man,
it'd be the church lady all over, but with soft taco.
my god.
Dude, HD face close. All right. How's it going? Listen, it's really good to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Is this 55 inches? That means my head right now has got to be at least 40 inches. Is that? This 55 inches from here to here. It's got to be pretty. It's got to be pretty impressive. That's got to be pretty impressive.
Oh my gosh, y'all are
She does that.
I did not do that. That was not me.
You can invoke that. Husband just walks in right now. JP, that would be funny. This face right here. I can get these eyes on me, I guess. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
This is too funny. So listen, we are gonna have to cut this off. But I don't know. We will definitely be doing these lives more often. We've really enjoyed this, and you know what? This is a great chance for us to just interact with people who subscribe to our channel. You guys have been a lot of fun, and you know, it really is enjoyable for us. We don't get a chance as often while we travel to interact with the people who really do.
It's done twice now.
Maybe it's me. Maybe your phone just like your phone is just like your phone's just like, I'm not dealing with this person.
Can't handle it. Can't handle it.
I'm not dealing with them.
No.
I've always wanted one of those deep voices. So like, how's it going? You know.
No, that's just creepy.
Right, and that would be
That
really
was
if you do that with HD face. Wouldn't this be great with HD face? That's awesome. So funny. You guys are awesome.
This is the Randy and Hal show. Please come back again next week.
Yeah, no, this has really been fun. It is enjoyable for us to be able to interact, and being on the road, it is tough at times because you don't get to build the long-term relationships. And that's one of the things we do love about YouTube and the YouTube community is the ability to really just open up and share and be part of that. So
the voice was wrong.
How's it going, JP?
You guys are making this so hard for
you
me,
guys.
I'm telling
You guys are so
This
awesome.
is hilarious.
I love this. You know, the truth is that it's not very often we get to have this kind of banter. I can go.
JP.
I'll just go low and slow here.
Oh my God.
Listen, you guys. I just
What's
want
her
to tell
name?
you.
Delilah. Get your
Sorry.
Delilah voice.
I just want to tell you right now that this has been really great, and we are truly, truly enjoying our time with you.
JP's coming.
Yes. I just want to tell you guys, this has been just fantastic talking with you, and I really appreciate you dedicating all this time to us and spending time with us.
Oh
And
my gosh.
this has been so much fun, and you guys are great, just great, wonderful.
JP, it's time to go to bed
All right.
now.
That's right. All right, you guys, we're gonna cut this here. It's like it's 1:40 right now, and we are gonna cut this off. We really appreciate you. We've really enjoyed hanging out with
Oh
you
my
guys,
God.
and you guys have been a lot of fun. We will see you on the next one. Again, the next live will involve our daughter Olima. It'll be a lot of fun. It will not be 3.5 hours because I can only handle her in short bursts. So
It's really called outside time because he can't handle me anymore and he kicks me out. Just saying.
what? I wasn't talking about you as someone Olima.
Yeah,
Short
sure.
bursts.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You can tell it's time to go. We gotta run here, folks. We have really enjoyed this. You guys have a
It's
great
time for
night.
bed. Hey guys, this has been so much fun. I am so glad that you guys stayed with us for this long and it's been amazing. Thank you. Night.
Bye. Oh, has it ended? It ended.
Yeah.
Is it over?
Almost.
No, it's not over yet. Is it over?